in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel witch, and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Hey, baby.
Nice. Shades look good.
Yeah, for those folks watching the video feed, they're just, okay, so our sales manager left his sunglasses here. I figured he'd come back for him. He didn't. These actually fit perfectly over my glasses. Almost.
Almost, yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, you can't really tell you're...
I kind of want to rock them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Thomas, you just lost a pair of sunglasses.
I bet he's got a bunch of those.
Just do the whole show like Lagrange.
He's probably got like a closet. There's just a bunch of sunglasses.
Right.
There's one missing, so he'll be in later.
Don't you hate that feeling when you walk into a club and somebody else is wearing the same shirt as you?
You don't wear shades very often, do you?
I never wear shades.
I don't say now I think about it. I never
honestly,
see
dude,
you in a pair of sunglasses.
The last time I wore shades like consistently was I had a pair of these, and they were really, really cool frames. I got them when I worked at the Vision Center. They were magnet. They had magnet clip-ons.
Yeah.
Little like magnets right here, and what was cool about them is the magnet was so strong you just like throw them at your face and they would just stick.
It was like Marvel.
Yeah, it was really cool. You're just like ready to go out.
I used to Iron Man my sunglasses. Throw my hand
Sunglasses, come! Just yeet them at my face.
Yeah. I love my big old blue blocker jobbers. Those things are great.
Yeah. See, once you hit that's the thing. Once you hit a certain point in life, you can really like reach true peak comfort. We're talking sweatpants on a Tuesday, the thickest of blue blockers covering up your actual glasses. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, like one of those fishing hats with the lures, even though you haven't been fishing in several years.
All of that sounds...
Because you never know.
Delightful.
All that in a 4:30 trip to Golden Corral for dinner.
Yep. It's party time. But happy Monday. Speaking of party time, congratulations to the NMMI Colts on winning their state championship Saturday.
In truly dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
Like, okay, in fairness.
Well, they won Friday night. Like a come from behind win too. So in the semifinal,
it was not dramatic at all because they were up by 17 points or 16 points. So it wasn't dramatic in any stretch of the imagination. But the coach managed to make the last out pretty dramatic. And this is great. I think this is his last season. He's retiring after the season.
Ah, okay.
So they have the whole game. Patron. Was just acing the whole game, just smoking them across the plate, and putting up impressive numbers on the board.
Right. The
very last out, and it was funny because like the commentators, they were like, "What is he doing?" He pulled Patron at the last out and put another player in.
Oh, let more seniors play.
I guess, yeah, sure.
Okay.
And that was the only determination that Kelly could come up with was they wanted to put let somebody else have some mound time, but hit by pitch. Walked a player, basically loaded the bases at the last
rally
out, and then struck out the last batter. It was like I was sitting here like, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And granted, they were up 16 points, so it was not a shock.
It wasn't that big of a gamble.
They mercy ruled it after 5 innings, but it was still he managed to make that last out pretty impressive.
Nice. Well, congratulations to the Colts. Also, the Gateway Christian Warriors, they won they came in second in the state championship. They won their semifinal matchup Friday and then fell in the championship game Saturday morning. But congratulations to them on another great season, too. Lady Coyotes, they were done Friday, I think.
I believe it was Friday, yeah.
Yeah. So
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah,
they wrapped up Thursday. So, but it's all over now.
That's right.
Sports is done for 2022 till the fall here anyway. So
Tanner walked in and saw me on my knees, tears streaming down my face, going, "It's over! It's finally over!"
Yeah, the video crew gets a bit of a respite now here for
like 3 weeks.
Now it'll be graduation season.
Yep.
So now it'll be here in a couple weeks, be hot and heavy with graduations and all that good stuff. So
congratulations to the class of 2022.
Yeah,
you did it, and honestly, you
Almost.
guys. Yeah, right, exactly. But y'all made it through some seriously unprecedented waters. I mean, I can't remember a generation of graduates, both last year's and this year's, that had to go through the nonsense that you guys did.
Yeah.
So y'all made it work.
Yep, absolutely. So happy Monday.
That's right.
Let me see. Well, let me give you the rundown. We got a full slate for you today. We got the folks from Carabelli Dental joining us this hour. I'm not sure if it's both Dr. Sarah Usher and Dr. Keon Agar or just one of the two or what we get a combination there, but they'll join us here and we'll get an update from them.
Keon texted me this morning, said he woke up and his house was 81 degrees inside. He's not sure what happened.
Uh-oh.
So he's dealing with thermostat issues, but don't worry, he will be here.
Hopefully that'll, of course, I understand if that takes precedence. Because if it's hot in my house, it's not a good
You wake
day.
up and you're just sticky for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, not good. So, but we'll talk teeth with them here this hour. Then in
They hate when I do that.
it sounded a little.
Yeah. I hope he wasn't listening. I'm gonna get chastised.
Right? You're like, hey,
How dare you, Iceman?
don't Iceman those teeth. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be joined in studio by James Mason, candidate for municipal magistrate court judge. I did that last week too.
Well, then it's equal opportunity.
That's right.
We did it for both of them.
And so we'll have a great conversation with James, and he's going to tell you why you should vote for him for magistrate judge. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Peggy Boland going to join us talking camp invention. I believe there is a deadline for discounts coming up here.
Yeah.
I believe the 18th is, let's say like 16th. What is today? 17th?
16th.
Yeah. So the 18th is another deadline coming up on discounts here.
So you best get on it, doggone it.
She'll join us here and talk about camp invention and, of course, talk about those discounts and all that good stuff.
Nice.
Scholarships, things like that. And, of course, we'll have all of your features that include news of the local and national variety. We got one of those chances of storms with no rain day today.
Storm clouds with no rain. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, so I'll tell you about the weather here in a little bit and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
How was your weekend?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I was here for a hunk of it. So
Yeah, it was. That's
Friday
the thing
night, Saturday till about midday, and then the rest of it was relatively low key. Did some honeydew stuff and not much else. Nothing really crazy.
Yeah, I texted Mike on Saturday. He's like, dude, let me take the late game. You've done enough. Like,
He did help me out.
I got nothing going on.
He hung out for a late game there and did that.
We got a chance to try out a place that it's been here for eons, but I always forget about it.
What's that?
The Sail Barn.
I don't think I've been there.
You know what? You should go.
All right.
Tell you. So first of all, full menu served all day, which is fantastic. They have liver and onions on the menu. I'm going to try that next time.
My wife would like that.
Love that. But had huevos rancheros, fantastic, great service. It's just it's Terry and I can't think of his wife's name, but they've run the place for decades.
Yeah.
And
I remember I just never gone in there and ventured in. I've never...
Great couple, real salt of the earth, and fantastic food.
Nice.
Recommended. Although the construction makes things a little difficult, but they do have access. You just got to move around, jut around some signs.
Yeah, my wife would be down with liver and onions.
Dude.
She's only one of the few people I know that ordered off menus.
And that's the thing is, it's very rare to find people that like liver and onions, but you can judge a place based on their liver and onions.
Sure.
You can say that about a lot of dishes, but really, it's one of those hit or miss dishes for me. It's either fantastic and I'm going to eat it every single time, or maybe I don't like liver and onions anymore.
See, I'm always nervous because I had my mom and grandma's. And I was okay with those.
When you have
Everything
one that
outside
sets
of
a
that,
precedent,
yeah, I'm kind of like very nervous to try any others.
I will say there was one time I had one that set the precedent. It was someplace in Albuquerque, and it was breaded.
Interesting.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I never would have thought about doing it like that, but it was awesome.
Well, yeah, it's acquired taste. I know that, and I've never had. I mean, I've had chicken livers and things. But I've only had like beef liver. I've never. You know, sometimes you can get other livers.
Probably.
Yeah.
I've never tried. I don't think I've ever tried pork liver.
Calf or other. Yeah, I think pork. There's several other.
I think beef is the go-to for the liver and onions.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're not having fish liver.
I'm.
So small. It's a little slightly bigger one. That was an alcoholic.
It's all onions.
It's a very onion-heavy dish.
But it's soft, so it's good for teeth.
Yeah.
Keanu would be happy about that.
That's right. Keeping it malleable.
Yeah, I'm just because liver and onions to me is like one of those ones that smells good but doesn't taste how it smells.
If it's not prepared right, it can be real gamey.
Yeah.
But if it's done the right way and you've got the right I can't say cut, but the right, liver, it's good. It's one of those that sticks out in your head.
Yeah.
It was one of those, I literally requested that for my birthday one year. My mom's like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, or for your birthday dinner? I'm like, liver and onions.
So I ate by himself.
I did. I said it to be weird, but it turned out it was pretty good.
He's like, no problem.
I think I said it because I was referencing an episode of the show Doug. Because like in the show, he tries liver and onions and it was pretty good. So I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. And yeah, I liked it.
I just remember as a kid, that's what my grandmother made. And, every once in a while we had it and ate it. And then I didn't realize later that was one of the more unpopular dishes amongst people.
Yeah.
and I've always been hit or miss with it.
It's right up there with anchovy pizza. It's a dish that's mostly just supposed to be like a joke or the butt of a joke. But in some circles, it can be not bad.
It's just when I smell it cook in, I'm like, all right, this might be all right. And then I eat it. I'm like, this does not taste the way it smells.
I'll tell you this.
All the fried, it should be more fry-y to me.
Since we talked about it last week, I really want to try anchovies on a pizza.
See, I can't do it.
No?
I tried it once, and it was by accident, and I can't do it.
I'm just curious.
It's the fish smell with cheese and tomato sauce just does not sit right.
And fish and tomato have a certain acidity that don't necessarily match well. But I'm genuinely curious because it's an acquired taste, and most of the weird acquired taste stuff I've liked. So
see, to me, it ruined the pizza. It really I tried. I was like, maybe it's gonna be all right, and I'm like eating it, and I'm getting a couple bites down. I'm like, and then I'm like, well, maybe no. And then I tried taking the anchovies off. And the whole thing just reeks of fish. So even with
which I don't necessarily mind per se.
It's not supposed to smell like that.
Right.
Like pizza's supposed to smell a certain way, and seafood ain't it.
I get that. That makes sense. It doesn't strike the olfactories in the right way.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit the right notes.
Yeah. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem natural.
Sure.
It's like some of the stuff in Matrix Resurrections.
It's like the Zion party. I can't wrap my head around it.
I watched the latest one over the weekend again. It was on
Did you?
Saturday night on HBO or something. I watched it because I was like, yeah, I'll watch it again.
I liked it the first time. I was okay with it the first time.
Yeah.
I would not go back and watch it again.
To be honest, I kind of dug it more the second time. As I was watching it, I was like, all right, the story made a little bit more sense. There were some nuances that I didn't catch the first time
fair enough.
That now I got the second time.
Looking back, I will say that the big reveal was sort of like obvious as I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you did kind of see Neil Patrick Harris going that route.
Yeah.
Well,
it makes sense. I mean, it kind of is this first movie, just a slightly altered version
with a shiny 2022 or 2021 coat,
which I was good with because my opinion the first time was the first movie was the only one worth the salt. The rest of them were garbage.
We went through a weird time in cinematic history where all the movie had to do to be good was look good.
Yeah,
that's it. Didn't have to be acted well. Didn't have to. Avatar is a prime example of that.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube video where basically it's like, okay, you like Avatar? Cool. Name one character.
I think they've been overhyped Avatar to us for 100 years. Like, because it took forever for Avatar to come out. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, who was it? I can't remember the director that's all about Avatar, whatever the big director is. But he was promising like this was going to be like a cinematic masterpiece, and he was like behind and way over budget, and like just talking about this is going to be great. And then after years of anticipation, it was kind of meh.
Yeah, it was. The movie itself was, but it was beautiful. James Cameron. It was beautiful. You got to give him that. Now, granted, he's also been funded for like 5 more over the next
There is
decade.
another one of those coming out.
Apparently this year. I was just Googling it just to
I saw the trailer for
see the director, actually. And it's called Avatar: The Way of the Water.
Yeah. Now I think they have a lot more stuff underwater or something. But
a lot more chances to get blue. So get ready for that.
But yes, I saw the trailer.
The Way of the Water.
Mm-hmm. I saw the trailer. I rode the ride at Animal Kingdom in Disney World a couple years ago. That was pretty fun.
Boy, I'm not just looking at a screenshot of the the trailer. Mm-hmm. It's just all blue. It's just a lot of blue. So turn your blue filters up, kids.
About halfway through, you're going to get Kevin Costner with a jar of dirt fighting about 10 people.
Avatar 3 is just going to be James Cameron for 90 minutes staring at a camera going, blue.
And he's going to get the Titanic
with the Blue Man Group playing in the background.
See if the Titanic makes a cameo in this one. It is 9:21. I think our guest is here.
I believe so.
So let's do this. Let's get you up to date on the weather. Spoiler alert, going to be hot. Could be a chance of storms with no rain. So that's what we're dealing with.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today with high pressure over the central Rockies, and that'll be bringing warm and dry air into our area. We do have a slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, but just around the Roswell area. Breezy and highs in the upper 90s to around 100. Few clouds overnight and low 60s, sunny and hot on Tuesday with highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 71 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 61%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 7 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning that's going to kick in at noon today, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. this evening, and that's because we got the wind and this chance of an isolated thunderstorm, possibly. Some of the storms could produce some heavy winds, damaging winds. Mostly sunny otherwise today. Highs near 97 with north winds 10 to 15 this morning. They're not saying we should get little to no precipitation expected for the storms if we get them today. They're saying we could see a little bit more chance of some storms with no rain tonight as well. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 60. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Once again, little to no precipitation expected during these storms tonight. Tuesday, sunny, hot, high of 102 tomorrow. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies tomorrow night with an overnight low of 63. West winds 10 to 15. Wednesday, sunny, hot, high of 98. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 63. Thursday, sunny, hot, highs right around 100. Friday, sunny and 96. And then cooler for the weekend. Sunny, 84 for Saturday, sunny, 89 on Sunday. So look forward to that. Hopefully it actually comes to fruition. We'll see. All right, it is 7:24. Let's go ahead and get you into your Roswell Livestock Report for your Monday morning, and then we'll take a quick commercial break. I believe Keon and them are here, so we'll chit-chat with them on the other side. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good May run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves and yearlings. Weaned with condition, we expect to sell 950 head, breaking down like this: 100, 125 weighing cows and bulls, 50 to 60 bred cows in pairs, 800 to 850 calves and yearlings today's sale. Will include 20 to 25 cow-calf pairs. These pairs are mostly 3 to 6 years old. 20-25 bred cows, mostly black, white face, and Charolais crosses, bred to Angus, 3 to 7 years old. 140 calves, Baylor Ranch, Sierra Blanca, Texas, excellent quality black and red Angus and Brangus crosses, thin condition, 375, 500 pounds. Also 60 yearlings off the Baylor Ranch, good quality, thin condition, right off grass, 550, 700 pounds. 95 yearlings, Bruton family, San Antonio, New Mexico, excellent quality Charolais cross yearlings, thin to medium condition, right off grass, 550, 750 pounds. 26 calves, C.E. John, Santa Teresa, New Mexico, good quality black, white face, red, white face, crossbred calves, cattle weaned 30 days, 400, 550 pounds. 26 light yearlings, Kincaid Brothers, Pinon, New Mexico, excellent quality black, white face, Brangus crosses, medium condition, 500, 650 pounds. And 19 calves, A&K Land and Cattle, Hope, New Mexico, excellent quality black, white face, Angus crosses, cattle weaned 45 days, one round of shots, 400, 500 pounds. Sale time this morning 9 o'clock. Sale pairs bred cows 9:30. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10 to 10:15. Fairly light on cows today, so don't be late. We expect to sell 950 head. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
From the mountains to the lakes and even the beaches, America is calling, and the best way for your family to see it is in an updated vehicle from your friends at the Tailgate Nation. Roswell Ford has southeastern New Mexico's largest inventory of really nice pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. These are vehicles you can count on to carry your family safely and comfortably from sea to shining sea. All have survived a rigorous 139-point inspection, and Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee. So if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks. If you have one you want to sell, we'll make you a cash offer on the spot, and we'll give you a week to think about it. So get your motor running and head on out to the highway. Vacation season is here, and your friends at the Tailgate Nation have the vehicle you need to see the sights and do it right. Your new vacation vehicle is waiting for you now at Roswell Ford at the corner of 9th and Main.
All right, let's get out the old grocery list here. Let's see, eggs, milk, bread, insurance. I don't want to shop for insurance.
Fortunately, you don't have to. George Gandy Insurance is here for you, shopping and comparing rates from different insurance carriers to save you money, time, and hassle. Visit a George Gandy Insurance location near you today.
We keep you covered. George Gandy Insurance.
When it comes to the security of your home or business, you want a local company, one that has a personal investment right here in southeast New Mexico. Zenith Security Services is your local Honeywell dealer. Zenith can handle all of your business and residential alarms, cameras, and IT services, as well as home theater installations, all from a local company. The Spring Starter Package is now available at Zenith Security Services for your home or business. Call the real Zenith Security Services today, 575-626-3521. Zenith Security Services, protection with a local touch.
The National Used Car Blowout is on at Roswell Honda with the deepest discounts yet, like a 2017 Ford Escape for just $329 a month, a 2015 Honda CR-V for just $309 a month, or a 2013 Nissan Sentra for just $199 a month. Get a 12-pack of soda and a Mexican resort voucher just for stopping by, a grilling toolkit with a test drive, and a free portable grill with purchase. And join us May 21st for free food, stuff for the kids, and your chance to win a Char Griller Double Play 3-burner gas charcoal grill. On now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Roswell is our home. That's why we've all got to do our part to stop illegal dumping. Throwing your trash, clutter, or yard debris in the alleys, sidewalks, or streets is a crime, and it takes time and money to clean it up. Those caught dumping illegally can face fines of up to $500. You can help by taking your waste to the landfill once a month for free with a paid water bill. Call the City of Roswell Solid Waste Department for more information at 575-624-6746. Help keep Roswell clean. After all, do you want your kids to grow up in a dump? Sometimes when you hit the road hits back.
That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:31, and joining us in studio this morning from Carabelli Dental, we have Dr. Sarah Usher with us. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you, Mike?
Doing good. Dr. Agar should be here in a few minutes. I think he's stomping out some fires, actually. But
fashionably late. That's Dr. Agar, you know.
There we go.
He'll roll in with something real good to tell us.
He'll come in real flustered and everything in here in just a few minutes. But
Yeah.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me this morning. Super
Anytime.
fun.
How's life at the dentist office going?
Drilling and filling.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep an eye. It's been a couple months since I've been in here, and you guys were just kind of going. Yeah. Matter of fact, I saw you last time.
Yeah.
I think Kiam was out of town or something.
Doing
that day.
something.
Yeah.
Probably putting out fires.
Good deal. But yeah, things going good. Keeping busy, and
things have been going good. We've had a steady flow of patients coming in and taking care of some good things over the spring for people. And now that summer's coming in, I think we have a lot of opportunity and to have people in, especially the kids, for wisdom teeth, things like that. So I think we're off to a good start. That's for sure.
Good. I'm curious. Are we past like the COVID flux where people, because obviously some people were probably apprehensive to come just because of the world we lived in, and so some people may took some time off from making their regular scheduled dental things, and so is it starting to get back to normal that way where people are just back to the getting there, coming in every 6 months or, coming in for whatever procedures they need.
Yeah, I think that we've, interestingly enough, we've been having a lot of conversations with patients where it's like, hey, it's been a while, like, don't get mad, like, don't, I'm sorry. But it's like, I think we're getting those people in where they haven't been in 2 years or whatever. And now they're like, oh, shoot, I forgot. I got to do that. So we're seeing those individuals come in now. So I think we're getting back to a regular schedule with everyone, every 6 months cleanings, things like that. And, a lot of times we're actually finding something that, thank goodness they came in, because these past 2 years maybe have, led that cavity got a little bit bigger or something like that. So it's nice to see them in the office that we can take care of it before it really becomes this bigger issue. So, yeah, it's real nice.
Well, and that's the thing. And that's why, folks come in every 6 months for a cleaning. And because if you do that regularly, you find you'll have, look at this guy with the Hawaiian shirt and everything.
Putting out fires. Yeah, Hawaiian shirt and all.
With his empty Mai Tai glass.
That's what he put down on the bench out there.
With a hot, rough night.
Dr. Keon Agar officially in studio with us.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Agar.
Sorry for being late.
No problem.
Our house was it was nice and warm this morning. Trying to figure out why it was so hot in the house. So.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that.
And the only tools I have is duct tape. So I just just duct tape everything and it should work, right?
That works in the Air Force, not so much in other aspects of life.
Or in Tundra, Alaska. We were having a little conversation about that. Duct tape is like the tool of choice
That's
out
right.
there.
When in doubt, duck it.
Right,
yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly.
We were just talking. I was just talking to Dr. Agar yesterday about how he was fixing something else in the house, and
oh my gosh, it's exact. I'll probably not ever buy a house from the 1950s again.
Ah.
Yeah, we had last weekend. It was we flooded.
Oh gosh.
And then this weekend the AC's going out. It's fun.
It's got good bones though, right?
Good bones. It has good bones. Good bones. And that's about it.
Yeah, I get.
And big trees. And big trees.
Oh, see,
so
that's the cool part. Yeah, you like. I want a mature yard with
community, good community.
And let's face it, things were built better in the past, you know.
Sure,
and so
sure.
you're thinking, yeah, I'm sure the house from the 50s is built to withstand a storm, or these
I
ones
think
built
it's lasted this long, right?
Yeah. And you're right in many aspects, but things like pipes wear out and electrical, you know, they weren't doing things the same with electrical in the 40s that they're doing nowadays, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like anything. Things just wear out. People, you know, and like it's just the same way we get wrinkles as we get older and white hair and, you know, longer teeth. When you get long in the tooth, you know, things just get, you know, things start wearing out. So you like how I tied it back into.
I know.
Like,
I'm curious now because you're handy, you know, doing oral skills.
Sure, yeah. I'm excellent in a dark, wet cave.
Okay, like carpentry or electrical or plumbing work?
Not as good as her husband. His husband's like a master. I'm all right. I can hang.
Okay,
but I'm not a like you know, I would not refer to myself as a contractor.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no way.
Are you?
Let's not.
Are you a DIY or whatever?
No, but I could. I mean,
it's a DIY with duct tape. That's that should explain it.
If it's do it yourself is a roll of duct tape and maybe
It's like Dr. Keon will like get it ready for RPM tomorrow, and then they'll come in and they'll like do their magic.
Do the setup work.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. Like last weekend,
set them up and let them knock them down.
Yeah, RPM came out like on a Saturday, and it was like, you know, one guy came out, so I just helped him, and you know, I can do that. But it was like what I know.
But shout out to them, right? Because they kind of
huge
saved
shout out
your
to them.
weekend.
Saved our butt. We had a nice. We had a pool in our basement.
Oh,
we had a new pool now. I did not want. I would love a pool. I would love a pool, but not in my house. So shout out to RPM.
He didn't
Plumbing,
want an indoor pool.
Yeah,
that was the old Barkalons are floating in at the bottom there.
Right.
So. Well, good. I'm sorry for the.
No, it's good.
It's
it'll be a good weight loss strategy.
Of course, now that's hot in your house, that pool will be very handy.
No, the pool is now gone though.
Wait.
The problem is we fixed the pool.
He has an indoor pool and a wet sauna now. Wow.
Yeah, we're.
I haven't been invited to this new gym at his house.
We're basically, since the Roswell Racquetball Club closed, we're just starting
taking over.
We're taking it over.
This is his version of DIY.
Gotcha. But instead of like weights and stuff, he's got parkour stuff. Like here's the lift the cabinet and hang it on the wall.
That's funny.
Well, we also have like baby gates all through the house, so it's like, you know, there's a little bit of, you have to jump over the gate. There's a lot of parkour equipment all over. Yeah, don't walk on the balls, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. So. Pretty soon you're gonna be a gazelle and you know got the skills of Spider-Man. Well, something you know what we were talking about right before we were talking about people getting back in and things.
Yes.
I'm kind of curious too, because like you said, a lot of people went through. You know, we're going through COVID and things, you know, meals, everything's kind of out of kilter. So, you know, like you said, if you're not going that every 6 months, and that's where you can catch those little things, but even people's world's been different. So maybe their diets have changed.
Absolutely.
And all that impacts, you know, your teeth health, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I remember as kids, they stop eating so much sugar, you're going to get a cavity and stuff. Okay, I mean, granted, that might be a bit extreme, but at the end of the day, yeah, there are certain foods and things that are more destructive to teeth than others, and if you're having a diet of more of that, and it creates opportunities for more, you know, problems and things.
The other things is that over 2 years, kids have grown, right? So families haven't been in. Yeah, hopefully, families haven't been in. And what I'm talking about when I
I mute this.
Something not right.
Chuckle.
But we've been one of the things that we've been noticing when we were talking about wisdom teeth and stuff is these kids, they haven't been to the dentist, and so maybe the X-rays that we took 2 years ago didn't show wisdom teeth growing and things like that. So now they come back for their little cleaning, and I'm like, hey mom, actually, like it's time to get these wisdom teeth taken out. You know?
Yeah, but like the wisdom teeth are coming in, and so is like the peach fuzz. So I mean, it's not like a great surprise.
Right.
Their voices drop 6 octaves and like But I will say
but the wisdom teeth people, it's like the whole oral cavity thing though. People don't really remember about the teeth, right? It's like, oh yeah, I guess we do have to do that. So it's kind of cool that we can like help parents, remind parents things like that about that.
I'm curious, since we're talking wisdom teeth, like is that just like an evolutionary thing, or are there teeth that we don't need no more? Or I mean, is that?
Yeah. So they've done studies and stuff, and like people have less wisdom teeth now, than they did 500 years ago, and then less than they did 10,000 years ago. So we kind of like evolved to have less of them.
Okay.
I mean,
but like we would like lose front teeth, and then everything would kind of shift
or
and
you
come
lose your
in.
molars.
So
like,
then now you have here's this like bonus set of teeth. So now we do have these teeth to come in, but we don't lose those teeth anymore, right? We take care of them and all that jazz.
And to be honest, there are some times when kids come in and like they have whether it was because of a growth anomaly, they're adult teeth, their adult molars come in and they're just not good. When they're like 6 years old, they get these like 6-year molars, and sometimes they don't come in right. The kid had a fever when they were little, or mom was sick during pregnancy, or whatever. Those teeth don't form all the way, and sometimes we just take them out. We say, "Hey, you got this extra set behind it. You got 2 more coming in, and you're not gonna have room for 3. So let's just take these out now." There's so there's different situations and stuff, but it's funny. I'll tell kids, because sometimes we get kids come in, they have only 3 wisdom teeth. They're like, "What? This is crazy."
Yeah,
but I had 5. So pretty much, I'm more like a chimp than like any of my patients. So I had 5 wisdom teeth, but so evolutionarily, I know where I'm at in the line of things. Yeah. But one thing I was gonna say about that,
that's more advanced, right? That's where I go.
No, it's not.
Tell people, I got extra.
Remember that DIY conversation?
Yeah, more like our predecessors. But no, as far as one thing I didn't expect to see, and a lot of people come in, and I think it's one of those things that you get a lot of people who have had bad experience with the dentist. They don't like going to the dentist, and then COVID, things shut down. They got their appointments scheduled, rescheduled, canceled, and I think it's like anything. If you follow your routine, you're going to the gym, you follow your routine, you stop going to the gym, you kind of want to go back again. It's hard to get back in that routine,
especially if there's no reason. If you don't feel a reason.
Yeah,
right.
And nothing's hurting or whatever.
Or
right. Yeah. So it's one of those things. It's the easiest thing in the world to just say, hey, I missed it because of COVID. And then it's kind of weird for a while, and everything's kind of strange. The world got turned upside down for whatever reason, right? And that was while it was 2 years ago. There's a lot of people. There's so many people, more than I ever thought there would be. Or like, okay, now I'm finally like, all right, it's starting to hurt. I got to come in now, but that's been one of those things, and they're always apologizing. And I'm like, well, stop apologizing. You're here.
Right.
Like, that's like if I was a gym trainer, being like, hey, who cares what you did in the past? All that matters is today's workout and tomorrow's workout and how you diet now. Like, that's all that matters going forward. It doesn't matter what happened in the past.
Sure.
So a lot of people come in, they're all super apologetic, and I think we're going to judge them. It's like, no. Let's get this figured out, and let's just take care of it.
I think we're just used to being
forward.
yelled at by doctors.
Sure, but it's not that. It's one of those things that, like, it's for us to empower our patients to, have the health that they want to have.
Sure,
it's a team process, and it's not me yelling at them or whatever. It's me saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is how we're going to fix it, and then we get to move on.
Yeah.
So
I think our team, that's one of the strengths of our team too. In general, we talk about that a lot when we come in, is how it's like kind of like a judge-free zone, right? It's like we're here to help the patients with whatever their goals are, and all that jazz. So I commend our team, because there's so many different places, and I've been in your, as you mentioned, that's how we're used to the doctor telling us what to do and why didn't you do it,
Sure.
And I think that our team has a really a strong, compassionate arm where we understand, as Dr. Agar mentioned, like, hey, this is maybe the situations we were all in at one point, COVID, whatever might have happened, and now you're here. So what can we do now, right?
Sure.
Let's make a plan. You're a part of this plan. It's not me telling you what to do, what you need. It's like, hey, what do you want?
Sure.
And let's make this
At the
plan
end of the day,
together.
you're the one who's got to live with these teeth, and
Yeah.
and you guys, you want to make them happy and healthy with it, and to be honest, that's not the same answer for every person.
Definitely not.
It's really,
absolutely not.
You know what I mean? Some people, it's depending on what they want, what they're looking for. Some some people are like, well, I'm not so much on the visual,
Sure.
but I sure want functional, you
Yes,
know, and so I don't
exactly.
care if they're the whitest of white, but you know what?
Yeah.
I want them to be well rooted and serve their purpose.
Which
I could chew into the toughest of steak on the planet and be just good to go.
Exactly. And that's what's fun working with patients. That's the fun part is everyone has their own definition of perfect for them or you know, healthy for them, you know, and when we run into those situations, it's fun because it's not the same thing. A tooth is not a tooth, you know, everything's different for everybody. So I think that's where we have a lot of fun with it too, is like everyone has a different request or expectation and we can like meet that, you know, so it's super fun.
And I imagine you do get some people that, because if you've dealt with something with your teeth your whole life, and I'm not talking like pain, I'm talking like crooked teeth or
Sure.
an overbite or something like that.
Sure.
And you've dealt your whole life with it, and so you're kind of like, well, I'm kind of good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so and so people get nervous of, well, what if they fix it? Is it going to feel way weird and different
Sure.
now? And so
It's not
I've
you.
never-
and some people
Yeah.
weigh that kind of stuff.
I've never
Exactly.
had a patient. I mean, I had a guy, a patient who's just. There's people that stand out. All our patients we really try to connect with and stuff. There's certain people that just stand out, and he just we did a full makeover kind of deal. And when he came back in, the first thing he said after having him for a week was, "When are we going to do the bottoms?"
Nice,
you know. And that was literally, he was like, "I want to do the bottoms." He said,
so happy with the results.
He was just like, "I should have done this 20 years ago." He's like, "I've been, I haven't smiled through high school. Since high school, I haven't really smiled, and I just kind of just like fake smile." And now, I mean, this guy just ear to ear smiles, and he's just like, you just tell, it's just like he's getting wrinkles in his jaw just because he's smiling so much. And you just tell he just but he just it's one of those people that's just very memorable. But like his first thing he said was, "I want to do the bottom." I don't know why I waited so long.
For him.
Yeah. And so it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything just like, it was just kind of like just getting things the right places and looking the right way. And and it wasn't like he had done something bad to his teeth, just how the teeth he got.
Sure.
Right.
But something that he was very self-conscious about is now gone.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, that's a game. Anybody, and I think all of us have had one of those kind of moments in our life where something you're not proud of or embarrassed about, and then you get it fixed after years of coping with it or dealing with it, and it's kind of like a monkey or just a huge weight being lifted off your shoulders sometimes. And I'm sure that's what this gentleman's experiencing.
I remember that day when Dr. Egger had finished that phase of his treatment, and I was like, "Smile for let me see," like I was so excited for him, and he's like trying to smile, and he's still numb, and I'm like, "Oh, come back next week and smile real big."
Yeah.
But he did.
Practice.
He came back for his next appointment. It's just like, because I know he's been Dr. Egger, working with Dr. Egger for quite some time, and with his plans and stuff. And so when the final result, it was just like, I think he was so excited. I mean, just like he said, I can attest to it, like ear to ear smile, and it's just like, whoa, this is so cool. So I mean, as you mentioned, it was an absolute life changer, as you had mentioned, and I don't think he knew really what was possible until him and Dr. Egger sat down and said, "Hey, this is the plan. Do you want to move forward with this?" I don't think that the end result is always obvious to patients because they've never experienced it. They don't know what that looks like. So in those situations, having that conversation with us and those full mouth makeovers with Dr. Agar is like is important, because then they can really understand, wow, you're really going to be able to smile, like those selfies you really want to take, those like photos at the wedding, at the graduation, like you're going to be able to smile, and then you're going to go be able to have your steak dinner like you guys were talking about. So it's a reality, and it's something that's absolutely attainable for many people.
You mentioned earlier, like this guy's like, I should have done this 20 years ago, and I guess the caveat there is some of the technology you're probably using today wasn't around then too. So I would even offer for folks maybe it's been a long time and you're thinking,
yes.
But if you're thinking what they told you 20 years ago,
exactly,
that it's night and day different now.
Right.
On the way dentures, implants, any of those different procedures, it's all
and
different now.
even in the in the last couple of years, when like for example with Sean, we did a whole makeover on Sean, and even which we just finished that like a year and a half ago, maybe in that range.
And it's quite it
was a process,
a very
huge process,
step-by-step process.
Huge process. That process is now so much more streamlined in our office to where it's a 1-day process.
Wow, and that's even in
Sean's case,
and he's only been like that was like a year or two
and
ago.
And that literally
it's
has
not
to do
that
with the technology that came out. I mean, like for example, the scanner we bought recently, and now we're doing 3D printing in the office. Like there's all this stuff we're doing now with technology that just wasn't there.
Right.
Things that just didn't. But going back to, as far as like what like Sarah said, like that's a big part of it is like what I've learned a lot of times is there's two sides. When a patient comes in, as a doctor, I might see everything, but they know themselves better than I do.
Sure.
But I can tell you where they can go better than they can. And like you said, or like Sarah said, they don't know. They have never been there. But we go there every week. So we know what that final result is. I mean, it's more than just your teeth being whiter. It's more than just your teeth being the right shape or the bite or all these things. I mean, there's this like this this whole like life-changing deal that happens with that. It's not just
patients can't tell you that. Yeah. Oh, I want this tooth to be here in this color and this shade. Yeah. No, that's our job. Your job is to tell me, look, I want to smile.
Right.
Like
I want to look at it and be
I want to
happy
hang out with my grandkids and have them see my normal happy smile, right? So they tell us that piece of it and we're like, okay, cool. Like you need shade A, A 1.532 and let's do this and this measurement, So we're the technical behind it, but tell us how you feel.
Sure.
Tell us what you want. Tell us how you want to feel, and then we can get you to that place, And
I imagine dentist work there's a lot of family history there. So there's a lot of medical, dental issues that a lot of it's family history. So, and that's very valuable from the patient to give that to you.
Sure.
So, I mean, if you've got a family history of a certain disease or degenerative issue, then you're like, okay, now I know what's going on here, and I've got just the thing to fix.
And you bring up a good point too about family in that respect, but also in these big cases, there's always a level of family support. Dr. Iger had another case in the other weekend. It was a lady and her husband was there, and huge support for her, and that's important to us is having someone who you really trust there with you in those planning stages, because that person is going to also help guide the process as well. They care about you, they love you, they want the best for you. So them being a part of that planning process is super important as well, because it reconfirms with the patient and with that relationship with that family member that, hey, this is where we're going and we're happy about this,
Plus they're the ones that get you home and everything when you're coming back off of the goofy
all the
stuff.
sedation.
but it's true. I mean, you need that.
All the instructions.
That's right.
I've found that so many people, and I, if for anybody who's like a parent out there, as a parent, you just automatically step in this role where you always kind of put yourself last, right? And I think a lot of people feel this like weird, not weird, it's very valid, but it's this guilt that, oh, I don't want to do that because it's an investment in myself, right? I could do this with that. I could do that with that. I could do that. And it's really important to have that. Not always. It's really important to have that person. And a lot of times we'll tell people when they come in for their consultation or like when we're telling them, hey, this is what we're going to go with this, bring your what I call decision maker. Who is that person in your life that needs to be there? Whether it's your daughter, whether it's your husband, whether it's your spouse, that person that's not, because a lot of times people will be like, on that drive home, they'll be like, no, I'm not worth it. Right. But if that person that loves you is there, they'll be like, you are worth this. And a lot of people the reason why their teeth end up the way they do is because they put themselves second, third, fourth, fifth, last in their family for decades. So having that person's like, no. So,
now it's your time.
Yeah. That's right. Like your mom, it's time for you to do this. Like you deserve this. But one thing I think is interesting about what Dr. Usher was saying is like we kind of, I don't think we really, what I think, like there's a bit like in old school dentistry is like cosmetic dentistry, and I think the way we practice and it kind of just came naturally is something I would term like bioaesthetic dentistry, like basically like trying to get the biology back, right? Like it doesn't matter what the front teeth look like if the back teeth there's no back teeth. The front teeth are going to take a massive amount of damage. So getting people back to being healthy so they can chew their food appropriately. They can function, they can talk, they do all the things they're supposed to do. They don't end up with this giant tongue because the tongue will fill those spots. I mean, they end up getting the sleep apnea stuff. How do we get them to be like biologically healthy? They will feel good, right? And then if we make the teeth look good too, then that's just part of it, right? But it's
they're there for a reason and they serve a function. And when they're missing, then others have to other things have to step up to fill the void
Right.
there, and that in essence wears down the
Right.
other stuff quicker.
Right.
And so it's more. The function's primary one. The beauty's almost a secondary, an ancillary
and
part.
and that comes with it. But it's not like it's like the focus when we're planning is like, how do we get this person looking good, confident and stuff, but how do we get them functional to where their biology's working?
Because then it's a long-term solution at that point. Then this is like, people, we get patients say, is there a warranty on this or this and that, or how long will this last? But if we can get the biology correct, get the function correct, then the beautiful smile that you and I created will last a really, really, really long time, because you're not going to, like Dr. Ager said, bust off the front tooth because there's no back teeth, So if we can get you functioning properly, then it's a long-term solution. And I know that's what patients are looking for.
Absolutely.
And that's, as doctors, that's what we're looking for too, because, we don't want to have you in the office 3, 4, 5, 6 times afterwards.
Sure.
We want to have a good final result where you're happy, we're happy, and we're confident in what we've helped you do.
And I hate to say this, but I think Dr. Dash is the same way. I hate doing things twice. I hate doing things twice.
Sure.
Anything.
I get you. I'm saying
I don't want to do things twice. And so let's do it the right way, And I hate apologizing for stuff, right? And so if you kind of compromise what you're doing, and sometimes you have to. Sometimes like, hey, look, I just need a quick fix until next month. Okay. Sure. But if that quick fix that we talked about, you don't come back for 2 years, and you come back and it broke, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry it broke.
Yeah.
But
it was only designed for a couple months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we design what we're tailor our treatments for our patients to be something that lasts, right? For me as a dentist, and I know for Dr. Usher too, it's one of those things that that's the best part of our job is to give something that you don't have to apologize. You're not apologizing for it. You're not compromised for, and you don't have to do it twice. And it just makes our jobs more fun. And patients' experience is so much better as opposed to going and feeling like you're just always there. You're always doing this. It just feels like something's always up. That feeling of something is no longer always up is a really nice feeling. That feeling of something's always wrong.
Completeness.
That feeling of something's always wrong.
And that's where that relief comes from. I think.
When I was really young, I don't know. I don't know if I've told you this, Mike, but I wore braces for 12 and a half years as a child.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
you just
I would
like
go
wearing them.
Come on. I would go to the dentist every single month. Okay, now I went to a general dentist, and this is somewhere else, not dentist.
It's a bit sweet that irony you became a dentist.
It's crazy. This is not a local dentist, just to make that clear. But anyways, I went every single month, and that's how I felt. I felt like this is a repeat. And as a kid, I felt like that. And I was like, why am I here? Like, oh my gosh, And so finally, after it was all done and said, we had switched, the situation, got a different doctor and stuff, and I had the braces off in 1 year. So that's what Dr. Ager is talking about. Is why? Like, my parents were like, why are we going back every single month? Something is not correct here. You know,
it feels like something's wrong.
Repeat, right?
Or
What's happening?
Or that anxiety of you
I
give a
gotta
car,
go back.
when you know
when is
something's
this
wrong
going to
with
be
your
done?
car.
When is this going to be done?
Right.
So
you're not
that's
feeling like you're making progress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I had that braces on for year 11, got them off year 12, I was like, wow, okay, this person knows what they're doing. I don't have to come back, and the result is really great.
Nice.
So, anyways,
it's like you know something's wrong with your tire, right?
Yeah.
And the tire, you get in the car, the tire light's on, you're like, I'll be fine. But in the back of your head, it's wearing all day. Every time you get in that car, you're just like,
when is it going to blow?
Am I going to make it? When's it going to blow up? Am I going to make it here? And then in an emergency, am I going to be able to drive to Lubbock? All that wearingness is hard on patients. It is. It's true, and it's exhausting.
Sure.
Whereas if you can not have that, I think that's such a powerful feeling to not feel exhausted all the time, not feel worried, and not feel like something's always wrong.
That's a burden you don't have to have on
right.
You
exactly.
We're about out of time here, but folks, if we didn't even get to sleep apnea stuff because Sarah can get help. All folks, if you're dealing with sleep apnea, and put it this way: if you're dealing with sleep apnea, and you're thinking, I don't want the big CPAP machines. I don't want. There's got to be a different option. Schedule an appointment to see Sarah here.
We've been seeing a lot of patients for sleep apnea, or people are loving them. I'm telling you.
My wife uses one; she loves it. It does make a difference, and so learn more about that. And it's basically wearing a mouth guard instead of having the big machine and the breathing and the and all that stuff.
I think that they made it look like the Top Gun. What Tom Cruise wears. That would look cooler, but like it's not. It literally looks like.
Well, not to mention the cleaning and all the other maintenance involved.
Yeah.
Now this one's a mouth guard.
It's like
you gotta
in
rinse
Star
off
Wars.
every once in a while.
In Star Wars, when Luke's inside that water tank and he's got the thing attached to his face, that's what it looks like. You know,
After he had to live in that bathroom or whatever. In the cold.
We can help with that.
Probably not so many cold issues here.
The force is strong with you, Mike.
I gotta. Never mind. I was gonna make a joke. Probably not appropriate. Anyway, if anybody has any questions, probably best to come on, give you a call or go online or
give us a call. Our office phone number is 575-622-4455. That's 575-622-4455.
Or walk in as well. We're right on Main Street 824.
Right next to the convention center.
Wow, I don't even know my own address.
So right between Sonic and the Convention and Civic Center is
across from Roswell Ford.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. But if you're heading from north and you hit Sonic, you went too far. Turn around. And if you're coming south and you hit the convention center, you went too far.
Right on Main
Street. If you do pass us and go to Sonic, just grab me some tater tots and then come right in.
There you go. There you go. Perhaps, by the way, we ain't got time, but if you tried the Big Deal burger they got
No, I have not. I keep seeing. Is it good?
I had one Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe they could pass me one through the fence there.
It was really good. I give it a 10. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. It's a big deal.
On so many levels.
Thank you guys.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
All right, it's 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Also continued air and artillery strikes around the Azovstal plant in Mariupol, the last holdout of Ukrainian forces in the strategic city, while in the Donetsk region in the east, Russian forces are using a range of weaponry on Ukrainian military fortification and units and fired artillery at civilian infrastructure in towns including Ternova and Petrivka. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Russia's aggression in Ukraine is hitting new hurdles both on the battleground and internationally. Europe is moving to sharpen and expand its response to Russia's invasion. One person was killed, 4 others critically wounded in a shooting Sunday at a Southern California church. Orange County Undersheriff Jeff Halleck credits the members of the congregation for their response in capturing the suspect.
That group of churchgoers displayed what we believe is exceptional heroism and bravery in intervening to stop the suspect. They undoubtedly prevented additional injuries and fatalities.
A 5th person suffered minor injuries. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has renewed British threats to break a Brexit agreement with the European Union, blaming it for a political crisis that's blocking the formation of a new government. JetBlue is going hostile in its bid for Spirit Airlines and asking Spirit shareholders to reject a proposed $2.9 billion acquisition by Frontier Airlines. On Wall Street, the Dow is off 199 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. License in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A battle is brewing at Starbucks.
Leaders of various religions are calling on the company to stop charging extra for vegan milk alternatives. The Interfaith Coalition says the practice amounts to a tax on people who have embraced plant-based lifestyles. Now, Starbucks says it does not charge for a splash of non-dairy milk or soy milk, coconut milk, almond milk, and oat milk. though it does levy a surcharge for customized beverages made largely with those substitutes. Jason Walker reporting.
Chancellor Olaf Scholz's party says it sees no need for changes to the German leader's often criticized approach to the war in Ukraine after an election in Germany's most populous state brought a clear defeat for his center-left Social Democrats. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. The nationwide shortage of baby formula is quickly becoming the GOP's latest election year attack on President Biden.
President Biden says there is nothing more urgent he's working on and has pushed back on criticism his administration's response has been lacking. However, during the presidential campaign in May 2020, then candidate Biden railed against Republicans and then President Trump over food lines during the early throes of the pandemic, saying the cause was a leadership problem. Ken Lorman reporting.
The European Union has slashed its forecasts for economic growth in the 27-nation bloc amid the prospect of a drawn-out Russian war in Ukraine and disruptions to energy supplies. The EU's gross domestic product will expand to 2.7 this year from 2.3% in 2023. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
I got to go to work.
All right. He's going to go make magic in the other room. What you doing? Just making magic in here, that's all. It's got a big old pot stirring up a big old bowl of magic for you. Happy Monday. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. You know what? One of the things I'm thankful for was Friday night I was here going to, making sure the Nittany Colts baseball game was on the radio and all that stuff Friday. So what I missed was the Washington Capitals playoff game. Now I'm thankful I missed it because they lost and were eliminated from the playoffs Friday night, and I didn't see any of it. And I'm glad I missed it. At this point, I would have been too mad watching it because they lost in overtime, and I would have been on the edge of my seat. I would have been probably yelling savory words at the TV, or unsavory words at the TV. Yeah, but I missed out on that, so I'm thankful for that. So, but yeah, my team, once again, 4 years in a row. They won the Stanley Cup in 2018, and then for the last 4 years, they've been knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. Which I'm used to because that's what they were doing pretty much prior to that 1 year they won the Stanley Cup in 2018. They just kind of went back to old hat there. So I'm thankful I missed that. But happy Monday to you. Hope all of you guys are having a great day, had a great weekend. Like I said earlier, I kind of had a pretty good weekend, spent a lot of time here with the baseball, softball tournament and covering many of that making sure that stuff gets on the air. Big thank you to Art Sandoval and Kelly McDonald. They did an amazing job last week and over the weekend. Of course, Kelly hung out and called those Gateway Christian and NMMI Colt games for us there on Friday and Saturday as well. So big thank you to them, and appreciate all that they did. And I can't believe it. Graduations are going to be happening around the corner here, and then we're talking summer and be fair season and all that stuff before we know it. So time's zipping by here. I just can't believe how quick things happen and how the stuff just goes so quick sometimes. It's like, weren't we just doing like first of the year just like last week or something? Now here we are already, summer, and we'll be Christmas before you know it. Next thing you know, we'll be sitting there, and it'll be Christmas and all that good stuff. I'm trying to find my here it is. This is what I was looking for. Hey, do want to remind folks that you don't want to miss this week, this Thursday, coming to the Liberty. Going to be a great show. Grammy-winning Latin funk group, Grupo Fantasma. They're going to be performing. They do, like I said, they do Latin with funk. It's pretty cool. Go online and check them out. And then opening for them will be our local slide guitar legend, Robin Scott, will be there as well. And, of course, we've had Robin on the show. He's an amazing musician, and he's the opening act. Then you get to Grupo Fantasma, so it's going to be a great show. It's this Thursday night, the 19th of May, at the Liberty. Doors will open at 6 p.m. The show will start at 7:30, and you can get your tickets online on sale. Get them before they're gone. And if you want to learn more about becoming a bona fide member of the Liberty, check out their website. It's thelibertyinc.com. Again, that's www.thelibertyinc.com. And don't miss Thursday night, fun evening with Latin funk band Grupo Fantasma and Robin Scott this Thursday, May 19th at the Liberty. Again, thelibertyinc.com is the website you want to check out. All right, it is 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today with high pressure over the central Rockies, and that'll be bringing warm and dry air into our area. We do have a slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, but just around the Roswell area. Breezy and highs in the upper 90s to around 100. Few clouds overnight and low 60s, sunny and hot on Tuesday with highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 73 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 59%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning for today. That's going to officially kick in at noon and remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. It's going to be hot. Could see some chances of storms, but not a lot of water. This is mostly the wind variety of storms. But, they're saying there's a chance at some isolated storms this afternoon beginning around 3 p.m. They say some of these storms could come in with some severe damaging winds. Mostly sunny otherwise with a high of 97 today. Winds will be out of the northeast 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're not expecting much precipitation with these storms that we may or may not see this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 60. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny, 102 for a high tomorrow. Yeah, going to be warm. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 63. Winds will be out of the southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and 98. Northwest winds 5 to 10. Sunny on Thursday, highs right around 100. Friday, sunny and 96. And then a little cooler for the weekend. Dare I say possibly pleasant temperature-wise. I don't know how the winds are going to be impacted. They haven't really got that. They said Thursday night will be breezy, but they don't talk much of Friday or Saturday. But they're saying sunny and 84 for Saturday, and then sunny and 89 on Sunday. So 80s-ish. Not bad. Compared to 102 tomorrow and all that, I'll take that. Who knows? Maybe we'll even get some moisture and all that. Oh, now I'm asking for too much, but I'll knock on wood. Maybe we'll get a little something there. All right, it is 13 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's do this. We got about a 3-minute commercial break to take care of. Let's go ahead and do that now. And then on the other side, we'll have James Mason join us. He's a candidate for magistrate judge, and we'll chit-chat with him on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
From the mountains to the lakes and even the beaches, America is calling, and the best way for your family to see it is in an updated vehicle from your friends at the Tailgate Nation. Roswell Ford has southeastern New Mexico's largest inventory of really nice pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. These are vehicles you can count on to carry your family safely and comfortably from sea to shining sea. All have survived a rigorous 139-point inspection, and Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee. So if you find something you don't like, you can just bring it back. Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks. If you have one you want to sell, we'll make you a cash offer on the spot, and we'll give you a week to think about it. So get your motor running and head on out to the highway. Vacation season is here, and your friends at the Tailgate Nation have the vehicle you need to see the sights and do it right. Your new vacation vehicle is waiting for you now at Roswell Ford at the corner of 9th and Main.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Make your home a smart home with smart home Wi-Fi from Plateau. Now you can connect more devices to fast, reliable Wi-Fi throughout your home. That means faster speeds with no downtime or lag. Enhance your connection, expand your reach, and experience whole home device control and protection with Plateau. Plateau offers true fiber with options starting as low as $60 a month, all with no caps and no hidden fees. Call today, 575-755-1000, or stop by 1001 South Main in Roswell. Get smart home Wi-Fi today from Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
At Central Valley Electric Cooperative, we recognize Electrical Safety Month every May, but we also know the importance of practicing safety year-round. Electricity is an important part of modern life, and CVE would like to share a few safety tips. Keep an eye out for overhead power lines when moving ladders or working on your roof. Replace appliances, chargers, or extension cords that have damaged or frayed cords, and avoid overloading electrical outlets. Central Valley Electric Cooperative reminds you to make electrical safety a priority this month and every month.
Spin the wheel and save during the Wheels of Fortune savings event at Roswell Nissan, with prices slashed across the lot so you can spin a new set of wheels this summer, like a 2018 Ford Escape priced under $17,000, a 2016 Jeep Cherokee priced under $16,000, or a 2012 Infiniti G37 under $15,000. Get a trip to Vegas and spin the wheel to win just for stopping by, a Home Depot gift card with a test drive, and a toolkit or grilling kit with any purchase. Spin in and save this month at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 17 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, James Mason, candidate for magistrate judge. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself? How's life treating you today?
It's going good. It's going good.
Good weekend.
Yes.
Probably a lot of campaigning right now, a lot of hitting the streets and meeting and greeting a lot of people, I'm guessing.
It has been absolutely that. It is. People are amazed. It's 106 and you're out walking with a long sleeve shirt. So.
Well, as a law enforcement officer, you're used to being in extreme weather conditions one way or another. So not that you like it, but I imagine you're probably you're used to being outside walking around when it's 100 out.
Well, actually, yeah, it's no big deal because at that point I don't have a vest on, and
this is true. You're probably much more comfortable. You can wear just a button-up shirt as opposed to 50 pounds of gear. So.
Yes, and once that vest gets hot, there's no cooling down. So.
Yeah, I would imagine too, and probably gets a little funky after a while. And
it does. It's you carry Febreze with you, and
you're like, I'm sorry, it's the vest. It's not me. I apologize.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Well, I guess first question is, what made you decide to say, you know what, I want to throw my hat in the ring for magistrate judge?
It wasn't a planned thing.
Okay.
Through my career, I've been asked several times, hey, you should run for sheriff. You should run for magistrate. never entertained the idea.
Okay.
Just recently, it's time to retire and
Gotcha.
getting there. And I was approached by Juliana Halverson.
Okay.
She let me know that EJ was retiring, and
So the plans are lined up, and you're saying maybe, and let's face it, how many years have you been in law enforcement?
Over 20 years.
And
over
so,
20 years.
I get it. Law enforcement, yeah, you need leadership, but at the end of the day, it is a young man's game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not. And so, and I'm sure your family's kind of probably been bending your ear for years saying, maybe you should get off the streets and go get an office job or get something, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I get there's probably a part of you saying, I think I want to get a little safer job right now.
Well, and when she approached me with it, I mean, I've known EJ for years, and it wasn't, I mean, he's a good guy, and I hate to see him leave, but I didn't really get what she was coming at me with when she was telling me, and she's like, hey, we need you to run. And I said, okay, well, I entertained it for a couple weeks. It wasn't
just I got it.
Yeah, so, and made the decision to go ahead and put in.
Sure.
It's all over my career. This is in our wheelhouse.
And that's where I want to go next, because we talk about the role of the magistrate judge, and it's one of the more unique positions of a judge. It's whereas we think of judges, and we probably all think of the big robes, and they sit on the big court, and yeah, that's a part of the job. But at the end of the day, a magistrate court judge is kind of a jack of all trades, and what I mean by that is, when you look at like your district or circuit court or any of these, and if I'm off on this, please step in. But they kind of have the judge, and the judge sits on the bench, makes the cases, and follows through on what's supposed to happen with the cases and things like that. But a magistrate judge has to do all of that, and oh, by the way, organize the office and making sure, you know what I mean. So it really is not only a job of making decisions, but it's also a job of literally being an office manager too. Am I all spot on all that?
A little bit off on that. So there is, I wouldn't be the office manager.
Gotcha.
They've got the clerks, and they do have a manager there that takes care of that, and they're very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
They're very efficient. They keep everybody on track. As far as,
so you're not by yourself on that,
right. And
That's good.
And as far as what you were saying with the magistrate and the district, it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting. And law enforcement, we always used to not like doing it, but we had to prosecute our own cases at times, certain minor cases.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really a good learning experience. You learn how to establish your venue and everything that you need to know to make that case go forward.
Sure.
Because if you don't, it's over.
Sure.
And
so let me ask you, how does the job translate? Like from your skill set as a law enforcement officer, how does that translate to a judge? Like what works well? What's areas you think you're going to have to kind of beef up on?
Well, I mean, as far as the law, when we first start the academy, I mean, my academy was 22 weeks.
Well, and that's probably one of the more, a lot of people think it's the physical side of law enforcement, what people have trouble, but I'm guessing it's the vast amounts of information you have to learn and stuff. That's where people have, it's not can you run 2 miles in 10 minutes or whatever it is. It's can you learn all the laws and how to apply them.
Right. And I was fortunate. I got to go to the Hobbs Academy, and they really, really work on the academic part of it. You've got law block, you've got domestic, DTs. You have just a little bit of everything. They teach you report writing. They teach you how to prosecute your cases. And the law block was huge.
Gotcha.
They teach you the elements of the crime, how to be able to pick out the elements and make those decisions. So as you're going as an officer, that's where you really use it over the years. You use it making those cases, whether it be DWI, drugs, or whatever. You have to have those elements of the crime to be able to go on with it.
Sure.
So, and you have to be able to make those. You have to determine those rather quickly on the scene.
Absolutely. How does I would imagine your relationships you've established over your time in law enforcement. Let's face it. We all know we live in the biggest small town there is.
Exactly.
Everybody knows everybody. I know as a law enforcement officer, that's a good asset for you to have. Does that translate as a judge? I imagine it would in some cases because I'm guessing it lets you hand down sentences based. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you know the people,
right?
You know the backstory. You kind of know what's going on. You have more information. Does that give you a more educated chance to maybe give sentences that would be more beneficial or more? You know what I mean?
Right. I see what
because a judge, a magistrate judge, has got to know when to throw the book at someone, know when to say that we need to make this a teaching moment. No, you know, and I mean, does that give you the tools to be able to do that better? I guess is what I'm asking.
I believe it does. I mean, over the years, you do. I mean, it is amazing. You don't realize the people you get to know.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always taken that pride. I enjoy getting out with the community, stopping with the community, and visiting with them and learning. And on the criminal side, yes, we deal with a lot of repeat offenders.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with some of the same people, and we know. I mean, it's something that you pick up over your career, being able to discern what's going on. I mean, you're constantly learning people. You're constantly reading people. You know, they send you to training, interview, and interrogation. They send you to dealing with people with mental issues
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So you do get a good spectrum of who's who.
Gotcha.
And you learn how to read them. And you know, it's more than sometimes there's something else going on that
Mm-hmm.
you don't see that you really learn. Let's figure out what else is going on.
Gotcha. I'm curious to kind of, because obviously there's a job and there's a job description and say this is the duties of the magistrate judge, but I'm curious for you though, like once assuming get elected here and want to be judge, when you go in there, is there things you want to? Because I mean, obviously, certain ways it's the law. You have to do these things certain ways, but I imagine there's other aspects of the job that you're like, no, I can streamline here. I can make it more. Is there any aspects, or is a lot of that once you dive in, you learn? Or is there ideas like have you been percolating like, they do it this way. I bet I can streamline that a little bit.
You know, and that's one thing. There's certain things you can promise. Be there on time.
Yeah.
Get things rolling on time. I mean, dispose of the cases as you are. But I mean, as far as the cases itself go, it's the facts.
Gotcha.
The evidence and the law.
Gotcha.
I mean, you have to take everything else out of that equation. You can't put your own biases, opinions, or anything like that.
Sure.
So it's going to be a challenge.
How much latitude does a magistrate judge have when opposing to sentencing? Is it pretty broad, or is it pretty narrow on what a judge what can and cannot do as far as imposing sentence?
There is some, and that's the great thing. I mean, discretion is something that I've had my entire career.
Sure. You do it on a day in, day out basis as a law enforcement official.
And I mean, just the simplest. I mean, on a speeding citation, I don't have to write that ticket. I mean, there's one citation that you are required to write. It says you shall, and that's suspended license. The rest of them, you have the discretion, and that's something that I've had my entire career. And
Gotcha.
It's been a blessing.
Well, and that's probably the best tool that serves you as a law enforcement officer, because sometimes, like you said, you got your frequent flyers, and like they're not learning a lesson here. We need to be more harsh with them versus someone who just made a dumb mistake, or a kid that kids being kids and they do kid things, and you don't want to ruin their life because of it. But at the same time, you want them to understand the severity of what they did.
And over the years, I have seen. I've seen some of the judges spent lots of time in court. I was actually the supervisor when I was a sergeant over the courts, so I got a lot of experience from that. But yes, you do see when a young man comes in and he messed up. And I've seen the judges before. What are your plans? Talk to them, visit with them, and the kid's like, "Hey, I'm supposed to go to basic training in 2 weeks." So I've seen stuff like that over the career.
And here's the part where we all and I think maybe we should look at it just for a minute the other way, because we all think of a judge as a person that imposes sentences and keeping law and order and peace, but at the same time, it's probably no different than your role as a law enforcement officer, because instead of being the officer that's on the scene to arrest or do whatever, now as a judge, sometimes you got to know when to lay the hand down and say, all right, we're punishing here, versus, you know what? This is a kid that I bet I can mentor and talk to a little bit here, and maybe we can nip this in the bud today. And so there's a lot of positive sides of being a magistrate judge too, where in essence you get to impact these folks positively. And I know that's something, we all look about, well, let's making sure people pay for the punishments they commit and things, but we all know people make mistakes and things. And I imagine one of the cool parts of being that judge is having those moments where somebody comes before your court. You maybe saw them a year ago and they were a hot mess. Right. And you see them a year later and you're like, all right, look, you're doing, you don't want to see them again. But sometimes, parole things happen. You're like, look, you can see this person's trying to do better. It's not time. You know what I mean? You get that kind of attitude. And I think that's the beauty of being a magistrate judge is people that really are trying to do better, you have enough latitude to kind of help them along, and versus the ones that aren't, you can buckle them down.
Well, and that's always the hope. I mean, that is the ultimate hope in law enforcement, anything, is you do want to make a difference. You want people to get better. Mm-hmm. It's not all about punishment. It's to keep them from doing it again. Yeah. And, that's very important. Sure. Since I've started this, the people that have come out and that you never had a clue, actually that said, hey, this is what you did for me. This is what you did for my family. Sure. And it's having that in you to actually take the little time and to stay and go further than what you plan on doing. Sure. Than what you're required to do.
I also want to talk a couple about some other transferable skills here, because one other role of being a judge is not letting people pull the wool over your eyes. Right. I mean, that's also part of it. Someone's trying to get off, they're going to give you a story. I would imagine your job as a law enforcement officer probably that's 101 training, because in essence, you're doing the exact same thing, whether it's sitting on the side of the road or sitting in a courtroom. Someone's giving you a story, and you have to discern whether there's some credence to this story or this guy's full of it.
Yes, yes, and you do. I mean, and that's one thing. Like I said, you really learn how to read that book. You learn how to what they're saying, what movements they're making, what their eyes are saying. You listen to everything, and you confirm.
And that translates in the courtroom, I'm guessing, too, the way people's shifting or talking to you. Yeah.
But then like in court, you confirm with the evidence, you confirm with everything. It's going to be a balance.
So let me ask you, what's I imagine there's parts of the job you're thinking, all right, I need to, where's like your skill sets? Where do you think you need to work more on? Where do you think are going to be the parts of this job that you say, I'm going to have to invest more time to be better at? Because I imagine you're not going to roll and be perfect. You know what I mean? You got to. So where's the areas you anticipate you're going to have to kind of brush up or get better at?
The part that I've told myself that I really am going to have to just is landlord tenant. That's one of the toughest issues.
Because there's certain rules as a police officer you can and can do versus what's going on in the courtroom.
Well, as a police officer, we're just following the judge's orders at that time. We're not making those decisions.
You're not establishing whether someone can be there or
exactly. Not. So that's going to be I think the toughest part of it is just getting that down to a T, because you want to do right for all these people, all the people in the community. You want to do right for the landlords, and you want to do right for the tenants, and so that's going to be the issue. I think the rest of them, we use them a lot, so we use them a lot.
What what I would imagine too, just we talk about the rigors of the job and things like that. This is actually probably going to be, as far as office hours go, probably less for you. I imagine you're probably putting a lot more hours in at the office as a law enforcement officer than you would be as a magistrate.
Well, and since I started out as the patrol sergeant, or I started as a patrol sergeant, moved up to the court sergeant, or I worked over to the civil sergeant. And then once I promoted, kind of did the same thing. I was on patrol forever, and now they've put me over administration and the court. So I'm like, so there's some hours. But I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be, the hardest part is going to be being in a building.
That's true.
And not,
your office isn't a squad car anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's going to be that's going to be a big change. It's going to be a big change.
But it's got to be exciting for you at the same time too, I would think. If because at the end of the day, it's a promotion. You and your personal life and your family. This is, it's progressing, and this is, a goal that I'm sure you and your family want to have is we all grow and get better.
Right. It's going to be a change. It's going to be a change. It's going to be hard to walk away from law enforcement.
I'm curious. Are you a adrenaline junkie? Do you kind of live for a little bit of that?
I am very much so.
How are you going to fill that void? Because I'm pretty sure, unless there's some craziness going on in the courthouse, you're going to miss some of that. I mean, is it just go hunting, fishing? I mean, what's going to be your to meet that need for you?
Well, I am a very big hunter.
Gotcha.
Raised both my daughters hunting, so that's one thing. Maybe some more traveling and hunting, as opposed to I've never done that before. Just bought a new Harley, so
nice.
So things like that. I mean, not a new one, but we got one.
New to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I am gonna miss that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. You're going to see those lights.
And I know this too. And this, I imagine, if I'm off base, let me know. But I'm guessing law enforcement is a band of brothers type mentality.
It is.
It's very much. And what I mean by that, being in the military, it's the only other place that you can experience something like that.
Right.
And what I mean by that is it's an all for one for all mentality. And I imagine when, assuming you get elected and then you start serving on the bench, there's going to be that moment where you're going to be like, I feel like I'm letting my brothers, and you know what I mean? It's because you get so ingrained with that.
Right.
Am I close?
You are. It's going to be a change. It's going to be a change because when I walk away, I walk away. I mean, it's going to be a different ball game.
Sure.
I've heard people say, well, you're gonna favor them. Well, no, and there's a period of time, I believe it's like 6 months, I won't hear any of the cases with the sheriff's department because I could be involved with them.
Gotcha. Or so those
whatever.
will be handled by the other magistrate.
Right, right. But I mean, it's going to be different because you can't tell them, hey, you need this stuff. You don't have the foundation laid for your case. You can't tell them that.
Gotcha.
So they're going to have to rely on their training and what their sergeants review on their paperwork to make sure everything's what's needed.
I'm guessing, especially while you get your feet settled in, like we were talking earlier, as a magistrate judge, you do get a lot of latitude when it comes to sentencing and things.
Right.
But I'm thinking, till you get your feet wet and feel, you're probably going to be, I'm going to do everything by the letter of the law here, and be, and not that you always do things by the letter of law, but areas where you're authorized more latitude, you probably reserve some of that till you feel more comfortable with how all that go. Does that make sense?
Well, and just like anything, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a period of time where you're really comfortable with your job.
Sure.
You don't just walk into it and say, here I am, let's conquer everything.
Chances are you're going to do it wrong if you go with that mindset.
And you have people that you can talk to, mentor with. That's one of the good things about it. I mean, I've been in contact with several judges over the years. Sure. I mean, I've always had their ability to say, hey, bounce it off them. And it's been good. It's been a good opportunity to learn.
Do you deal with a lot of attorneys as a magistrate judge, or is it mostly
yes.
I don't hang out very often in there, but
right. Yes.
I didn't know if a lot of people defend themselves, or is there quite a few attorney?
There is a lot of attorneys, and there's a majority of the time it seems like most of the people that get speeding tickets and things like that, they do that. But times, especially with CMV or commercial motor vehicles, those. And
I'm guessing just because you're a career in law enforcement, you probably already have at least an understanding, a lot of attorneys and things in town, because
yes, sir.
It really is about relationships in this world, and not so much for the case,
mm-hmm.
but the other stuff, making sure prerequisites, things get done. Sometimes having those relationships make it a whole lot easier to make sure all the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I know someone at that office, I can call them and say, hey, where's this at? And someone will jump on it.
I don't know that happens as much.
Okay.
I don't know that is so much, but yeah, you do, you treat everybody the same,
Sure.
That's one thing you've really got to do.
But it's got to be helpful to, just even knowing, like, I know their tendencies. I know what they're going to do. I can probably predict what they're going to tell me before they tell me, you know.
And you do. I mean, like I said, over the years, I've seen how certain attorneys, I just pick it out, and you know what they do, what their usual the way they work.
Sure. So. And just to be curious, just to let people know, as a law enforcement officer, you've spent many hours in a courtroom. This isn't, you know, I would guess you probably have as many hours in the seat of your patrol car as you do in a courtroom, or pretty darn close to it.
You know, I have spent a lot of time in the courts, and not so much. I mean, a lot of my cases just went through. I mean, I didn't have to go to law court because, you know,
nothing to contest. Everyone was like, "Yeah, let's do what we got to do."
You know, and especially once the cameras started to come out, man, it just made things. I mean, you're right there. You see what we see.
Sure.
And so, but as when I was the supervisor over the courts, as a sergeant, oh yes, I spent tons of time. I mean, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed sitting there listening and hearing the cases, and you know, it kind of did inspire me. You know, for a brief period of time, hey, maybe I should do law school, but you know, raising a family and being in law enforcement, that's not an option.
Sure.
So, you know, this is something that is in my passion. You know, my stepdad was actually, when I was a kid and you messed up, he would actually present a case to you. So it was interesting. Yeah, it was good stuff.
So I know never say never and stuff, but assuming you get elected here, is this, I mean, this is what you want to do? Or, I mean, do you ever want to go back to being a sheriff's deputy or in law enforcement?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think I've done my time. And then once I promoted, it changed a lot.
Gotcha.
All that interaction you had with the community,
you lose some of that as an officer,
absolutely,
supervisor role.
And during this campaign, that's been the best thing, is I'm back to talking to people, and that's what I really I enjoy.
And I imagine you, because of that job, you get to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, like we said earlier, it's about peace and promoting peace and justice and everything else. But the magistrate judge is really a mentor as much as that person is a person that's supposed to interpret the law and make sure that people are sentenced accordingly.
Well, and that's what you hope.
Yeah.
That's what you hope, because ultimately that's what we want, is we want them to do better.
Absolutely. So let me ask, I know we got, of course, early voting's underway now here, and I do want to remind folks, the magistrate judge race is going to be decided in the primary. Yes. So if you're a registered Republican, you get to decide this race here. There will not be there will be a general election, but you don't get a choice. It'll be one of the two candidates that come out of this, and that's who it's going to be. So do your homework. Go.
Absolutely.
Like I said, you can early vote right now. I imagine, I'm sure you got a bunch of people helping, but if someone's hearing and saying, hey, I'd love to get more involved with the campaign with signs and stuff, do you still got room for those volunteers?
Oh,
and
absolutely. Things? Absolutely. You know, find me on Facebook. I have a personal account and also have a campaign account.
Just look for James Mason for judge.
Elect James Mason for magistrate judge.
Okay.
And then I believe my website's jamesmasonforjudge.com.
Very good.
It's going good. Early voting started last week, and it looks like the numbers are up pretty decently for the beginning. It's been really good.
Very good. And, of course, like you said, reach out if you want to do that. And, of course, if you have any questions about anything regarding campaign or, you know, how do you feel about this, I'm sure reach out to them via, you know, Facebook or whatever. And I'm sure you'll be happy to get back to them to talk to them and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, that's we live in a community where we all chew the same dirt.
Exactly.
We all live together.
Yes.
You know, we can all agree or disagree on something, but we all do have to live together and be human to each other.
Right.
And let's keep doing that and keep because we can work the rest of it out.
Absolutely.
I know we live in a world right now where it seems like it's an us versus them mentality wherever you go, but it really isn't.
Right.
It really isn't.
Right.
And
you know, and the community really does. I mean, this is a great community, and you know, we have good people, and we have a lot of people that are willing to help, and it's just exciting to see see it come together.
Absolutely. I'll leave you the last word here. Any other information, anything you want to say, anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to make sure you got out today?
I think we covered a majority of it. I mean, we could spend hours visiting on.
Well, it's a lot of philosophy and things,
and it is. I mean, there's so many details that we could go over. Just happy to be here. Happy to continue serving the community.
And I would imagine too, the job is an evolving job. The law is the law,
right?
But how we interpret it, and the law changes.
The law changes daily.
Yeah.
There's so much involved. I mean, the Supreme. There's just so much involved. You have no clue, but the basics, the bases of everything are there. But you never know. I mean, you have to stay up on it, and which is good because through my career, that's what we do.
Absolutely.
I mean, we do updates on law every.
Just to give people perspective, I mean, when we talk about a law enforcement officer, they do a 12-hour shift.
It varies, yes.
It varies, but we'll say on average. But like on a given month, if an average officer is doing we'll say the 40 hours a week type thing, how much of their 40-hour week is spent in training? On average, I bet it's a bigger number than most people think.
It's not. It's up to the officer. I
Gotcha.
mean, the state requires so much training every 2 years, and you have to get that.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot.
On
most
the field.
of it's paperwork.
Gotcha.
You get your field work done.
But I just know,
you
like every
up.
meeting, because they have their meetings every day and they're constantly updating and changing. So I just figure, that's something that it's like almost like healthcare.
Right.
When you're not doing it, you're learning the changes about what they're doing to it.
And that's where the legal updates come in.
Yeah.
I mean, once the law changes as far as marijuana, everything else, that's where the district attorney's office comes in and they say, hey, this is what we got. This is what needs to be. This is the new law.
Gotcha.
So a good officer will spend time learning and on their own.
Just not related to anything, just gee whiz curious. Now that recreational marijuana is here and stuff, have you guys seen an uptick on pulling over people with possession? Or
I believe there is.
Yeah.
I don't see it as much now that I'm stepped out of that.
This is true. You don't have to do as many.
Exactly. I mean,
not that you're not an officer and won't make arrests, but you're not patrolling a
you
beat.
Smell a lot more of it. You smell a lot more of it. Vehicles driving by. I mean, I've noticed walking. I'm like, well, you can smell that.
Well, I imagine as magistrate judge, you're going to be seeing quite a few of those cases before.
Yes, we will. We will. It's going to be, getting more of our guys trained in A-RIDE and DRE. That's going to be very important to this process because they're going to have to make those determinations, and it is a little bit different than alcohol.
Sure. It's you can't use the same methods to detect.
Well,
like
you can, but you get some different results, and if you're not trained, you're not going to pick up
like
on them.
A blood test is kind of a be-all, end-all for alcohol. It's like, hey, if you got it in your system and there, we know. But marijuana, it can be in your system for up to 30 days. So even if it's in your blood, that doesn't mean you're high right now or impaired.
And they're definitely the testing's going to. I've heard that there is some out there that they're doing with swabs and things like that because the concentration. I don't know how they're going to determine that. I don't know.
At what level are you officially high versus?
You're going to have to basically go off the impairment and the odor, and you're going to have to be able to prove that case because.
So if you're actually extra dumb, you're probably going to.
Well, and with DWI we have the IR 8000. We run them through the fields.
It's pretty cut or dry.
We see the impairment, and they submit to a breath test. Or if they don't, if they don't submit to the test, they're aggravated. Marijuana is a whole new ballgame.
I imagine too, and I would imagine even what constitutes as possession and things. So like, if it's in the back of the car, sealed up in a suitcase or something, versus it sitting in a cup container in the driver's seat, that's kind of like beer, like I imagine that's what they got to deal with, and then what constitutes
so many questions.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch it unfold. I mean, the benefit we do have is other states have been doing it, but I don't know. I'm
guessing
to see.
courts like the magistrate court will be that testing ground on how how we go from here on prosecution and things, and see the numbers coming in and all that stuff. So.
It'll be Santa Fe and legislation.
Yeah, but it'll be based off the information that they gather in the courts here over the next couple of years, I'm guessing too. So, again, look for James Mason for magistrate judge on Facebook to learn more there. Reach out, and then of course, early voting's going on now. You can go and early vote if you want to wait till election day. They'll usually have like 11 different voting convenience centers for primary and all that stuff.
So right now is actually absentee voting.
Okay.
So that goes until the 21st. The 21st, the Roswell Mall Voting Center opens up also. So right now it's just at the county building.
The clerk's office.
Yes,
there.
and that's the entrance over by Casa Maria.
Yeah.
The normal voting area there. So.
Yeah. You if you go through the main entrance, you can, but you're going to be doing a lot of hiking.
Right. Yeah, it's a walk, but if you
just want to sightsee the building,
right? If you have any special needs, handicap or anything like that, definitely go through the Casa Maria.
Of course, you can cut through and see the sheriff's office too if you want to come by for a visit.
Yeah, that would be a hike. Now. That would be a hike. Absolutely.
Yeah, it would. But you're going to see the building.
Right. So
good deal. Well, James, as always, appreciate the visit here, and good luck in the campaign. And and win, lose, draw. We appreciate your service here, and this is even to. Any of our judges here, if you guys open forum, if you guys want to come on to talk anything or help or whatever, we'd love to have you. So.
Well, and the one thing I do want to say is please get out to vote. This primary is important. We've got the governor. We've got several candidates for governor. We need people to stand up and start voting.
This is the point that you get to make your say. I know we people are mad or happy at the world right now, whatever that is.
Right.
This is your one way to make your decision count.
It is.
I know it's fun to get on Facebook or various other social medias and yell and scream and get in fights with people. Sure, fun, and you get all amped up. But you know how many problems you solved at the end of the day?
Yes.
Not one single problem.
Nothing.
The one way that you can do it is by going to vote and voting your heart and voting the way that you truly believe it. And like you said, when it comes for governor here, you've got quite a few decisions to make. And this and obviously this magistrate judge race, this is your only chance to weigh in. So please do that. Please vote in this primary here, and because you have no excuse at that point. If you're the one on Facebook yelling and everything and you didn't vote, then you really have no credibility in my book. So.
Well, and it's just imperative. We've got to have it. No matter what you believe, we need to have it.
Well, people doing nothing is the easiest way to lose everything you have. That's it's not the people making loud noises and everything. It's people doing that and no one doing nothing to stop it. Is how we get to where we get.
Yes.
to.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Anything we missed you want to get out there?
No, not that I can think of. It was a good time, and
we'll appreciate
we'll go from there.
We'll appreciate. I'm sure you got about 10 things you knock out after this, so we'll go let you do that.
Never ends. So
whether it's your day job or campaign, I'm sure you're busy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been a lot of hours, so we're constantly moving. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your service.
Sir.
We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Okay?
It's an honor. Thank you.
All right, it is. Man, it's 8:52 already. It's time just flying by. Let's do this. Let's pause for news and a quick break, and then we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Now a look at your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us. Eddy County deputies are investigating after a man was found with extensive injuries Friday afternoon. Details are very few, but we do know officials are telling us that the deputies found a man with extensive injuries to his face and head. The man was found in an area of the Pecos River known as the Chutes or Diving Rock. Crime Stoppers is now offering a reward of up to $4,000 for information leading to the arrest or conviction of a suspect. If you have any information, you are urged to call police immediately. In the western part of the state, the Hermit's Peak and Calf Canyon wildfires are nearing becoming the largest wildfire in New Mexico history. As of late Sunday, that fire was a little less than 8,000 acres from becoming larger than the 297,000-acre Whitewater Baldy fire. It's now burned more than 290,000 acres, and the weather continues to play a huge part in the situation. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today with high pressure over the central Rockies, and that'll be bringing warm and dry air into our area. We do have a slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, but just around the Roswell area. Breezy and highs in the upper 90s to around 100. Few clouds overnight and low 60s, sunny and hot on Tuesday with highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. United Airlines and its pilots union said Friday that they have reached a tentative agreement on the outline of a new contract. The leader of the United chapter of the Airline Pilots Association, Michael Hamilton, and United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby called it an industry-leading agreement. However, financial details were not disclosed. The two sides said they were still working on contract language and that pilots would hold a ratification vote in the coming weeks. Tesla billionaire Elon Musk has put his plan to buy Twitter on temporary hold, raising fresh doubts about whether he will proceed with the $44 billion acquisition. Musk tweeted early Friday that he wanted to pinpoint the number of spam and fake accounts on the social media platform. Natural gas prices rose Friday after the Russian state-owned exporter said it would no longer send supplies to Europe via a pipeline in Poland, citing new sanctions that Moscow imposed on European energy companies. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Have you been dealing with stress or anxiety lately? Don't let that stop you from getting the dental work done that you know needs to happen. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and every day we help people just like you have a relaxing and pain-free experience with IV sedation. Just imagine a dental experience where you don't remember the needles or the drills. If that's what you're looking for, we can help. Let us ease your stress and create the best dental experience ever.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main or call 622-4455.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. Name to remember.
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:57. Stay tuned next hour here about 9:15 or so. We're scheduled to have Peggy Boland with Camp Invention join us, as that's just a couple weeks away. Camp Invention, believe it or not, is right around the corner. And we're also coming up, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Coming up here May 18th, which is just a couple days away here. There's a $15 discount code that will end on May 18th here. So we'll remind folks about that and talk more about Camp Invention with Peggy next hour. If you missed any part of our interviews from earlier, I invite you to go back and check them out at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Of course, Last hour, we had from Carabelli Dental, we had Dr. Sarah Usher and Dr. Keon Agar join us, and had a great conversation just talking about their services and what they do and how, and really talking about just the dental technology and how even the philosophy of practicing dentistry is different than it was, say, when I was a kid 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. I keep saying 20 years ago. Like 20 years ago, I was an adult. No, 40 years ago. Yeah, sorry. But, yeah, and just talking about that. I had a great conversation with her. And, of course, just a few minutes ago, we wrapped up our conversation with James Mason, candidate for magistrate judge, and had a great conversation with him. And so I invite you to go back and check him out, especially if you missed him at your leisure, ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find that there. And, of course, when it comes to voting, definitely we've already interviewed Nicole Rogers, the other magistrate judge candidate. You'll find that interview at ksvptv.com there. So you can actually see both interviews with James and with Nicole there. So I invite you, when you get a chance, go back, especially before you vote. I tell people every time, I really, who you vote for, God bless you. It's up to you. But if I ask you why you voted for him, you better give me an answer that's something other than I like their signs, or I don't know, I just eeny, meeny, miny, because I got no respect for that. You tell me some reasons. Even if I find the reasons not good, I respect that at least. Okay, at least you thought about it. This person believes this and this, that's why I voted for him. Okay, I respect that. I may not agree with it, but at least you did something because it was an educated thing, and I'll respect that way more. Anyway, soapbox done. It's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side. Do not go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. While visiting Finland, U.S. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says there's very significant support in Congress for Finland and Sweden joining NATO, and that he expects swift ratification.
Finland is punches above the weight of a number of existing NATO members. Your admission to NATO greatly strengthens NATO. That's why we've been partners, in a sense, before the actual admission.
McConnell said he hoped the vote could be held before the August recess. The Supreme Court has sided with Republican Senator Ted Cruz of Texas in his challenge to a provision of federal campaign finance law. 6 of the justices agreed the somewhat obscure section of the law violates the Constitution. Authorities say the white 18-year-old who killed 10 people at a Buffalo supermarket during a rampage that targeted black people had previously made a threat at his high school, but they say Peyton Genron was never charged with a crime. President Biden is urging unity after that deadly mass shooting in Buffalo, New York.
In the aftermath of the massacre, the president said hate remains a stain on the soul of America. Speaking at the annual National Peace Officers Memorial Service honoring fallen law enforcement officers, he said the country grieves for the families of those killed in what he called a senseless and horrific shooting. He and the First Lady plan to travel to Buffalo on Tuesday to meet with members of the community. Greg Clugston, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow was off almost 178 points, while the NASDAQ is down 170. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we
Our United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A prominent Democrat running for a U.S. Senate seat in Pennsylvania has suffered a stroke.
His campaign says Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman is on his way to a full recovery. He went to the hospital Friday because he was feeling unwell, but in a statement, Fetterman says he's now feeling much better, and doctors have told him he didn't suffer any cognitive damage from the stroke. Fetterman adds he will stay in the race, and his Senate campaign isn't slowing down one bit. The 6'8", 52-year-old has been open about his push to lose weight in the past. Fetterman is considered the leading candidate among the 4 Democrats running in Tuesday's primary. I'm Ben Thomas.
Authorities say 2 people have been killed and 3 more taken to a hospital after a shooting at a Houston flea market. Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says the shooting arose from an altercation that involved at least 2 guns and all 5 of the people. News and analysis at townhall.com. The white gunman accused of committing a racist massacre at a Buffalo supermarket made threatening comments that brought police to his high school last spring, but he was never charged with a crime. He had no further contact with law enforcement after his release from a hospital. Its military bogged down in a grinding conflict in eastern Ukraine. Russia lost diplomatic ground over the weekend as 2 more European nations move closer to joining NATO. Finland shares a 1,340-kilometer land border and the Gulf of Finland with Russia. Several hours later, Sweden's governing party endorsed a bid for membership, which could lead to an application in days. Once again on Wall Street, the Dow is off more than 153 points.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I slumber, I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil which and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Chris and Gernos.
Nice trilling.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a trilogy.
I saw you had a yawn coming on. I was like, let's see if I can hold this one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Monday. I'm dragging a little bit. I didn't sleep well last night.
Okay, I think there was something off about last night.
I think it was the moon,
blood moon. I think.
The lunar eclipse.
Let
or
me
whatever.
think why I think that.
All right.
I never went to bed.
Really?
I woke up this morning at 4:45 on my couch.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't remember going to sleep, but I did at some point. I got off watching. I was watching something.
I was just up a lot. Like I'd sleep and then wake up, sleep, wake up, sleep. I just couldn't get some good REM cycle sleeping going on.
Get the circadian rhythm going.
Yeah, so
it's a toughie. I made a mistake yesterday. I had a craving.
All right.
So I went to the store and I purchased. Now let me back up. My cravings are weird because I've lived with people for most of my life, so I've acclimated my taste buds to like weird stuff.
So they won't steal your gig.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So I say all that to tell you that I went to the store yesterday to get myself a nice big roll of Braunschweiger.
He lives alone now with his kids occasionally.
I do.
Hey, he's got no one stealing his food.
Kids
now.
are gone this week, so I decided I'm going to go nuts. So I went and got myself a big roll of Braunschweiger.
All right.
A big red onion. And some crisp breads.
Nice.
And made myself, a nice. It was delightful. It was fantastic. I love Braunschweiger.
Yeah, I don't mind
the
every once in a while.
mistake that I made, I didn't immediately take the trash out when I threw the rest of the onion away.
Oh, yeah.
My whole house smells like a Jimmy John's right now.
Very aromatic.
It's so bad. I walked in. I had to go run an errand yesterday, and because I don't have proper, ventilation or air conditioning in my house, it gets real hot in there.
Yeah.
So I walked in. I opened my door and was just with onion stank in my face.
And when an onion gets old, it gets more fragrant.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
And I say red onion specifically because if you in the world of onions, y'all know reds are the stankiest of the onion.
Yeah.
They have a real certain pungentness to them.
And that's what
Pungency.
gets me is they're pretty pungent to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it's a rotten onion. It's just that onion smell, but enhanced.
Yeah.
So it makes you not like onions to me because, I like onions. I put onions on a lot of things. Some things I don't. But
Sure.
But when I smell that oniony onion, I'm out on onions for a while after that because I'm like, oh, that's just too much.
I'm usually out for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But even thinking about it, today I'm like, I got some Braunschweiger waiting for me at lunch today. I'm gonna go mess my house up again.
Yeah.
And I haven't taken that trash out yet, so I can still do it again, then throw the whole thing away and wipe my hands of it.
Well, so now it's still there. That's on you.
Yeah, I admit I'm prolonging the problem. The whole thing, and I said this out loud to my cats because who do I have to impress this week? I'm on my own. I'm trying to keep cool sitting in my boxer shorts in front of a fan.
That's, by the way, the same meal he eats right before he goes to see Keon at the dentist, too.
It's true.
Some Braunschweiger and onions. Hi, Keon. How are you?
Hey, everybody. Want to hear my Harry Carey impression?
It's you been eating Alpo, Sean? What's going on? That smells like Alpo and onions.
Just a hunk of onion sticking out of the back. No, don't worry, Keon. I clean thoroughly.
Now, do you like liverwurst?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to be in a mood for liverwurst and Braunschweiger are pretty similar.
They are
I have,
very similar,
I have to
but
be
they
in
are
a mood for both of those things.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to eat all the time thing. It's weirdly I kind of, and this is not going to gain me any friends or popularity. I kind of weirdly like olive loaf.
Well, I've had my story about I don't eat meats that are called loaf.
I get that.
Meatloaf's the exception to the rule because I've seen it made by hand. So I'm good with it. But when I go to the deli and I see P&P loaf or olive loaf or I say mac and cheese loaf, and I've seen some out there ones.
There are certain things that just do not go together. I agree with you, but
have you seen mac and cheese loaf?
I never have.
Hopefully they pulled it off the market. But yeah, it's that weird bologna whatever meat that they put in loaf, and there was hunks of mac instead of olives or pimentos
the fact
or whatever.
that they can get olives or whatever they're putting in it to sit so comfortably lets you know that's not a solid piece of meat.
Yeah,
it was not a solid piece of meat at one point.
That is
that was meat sludge.
So yeah, that's just a golden rule. I don't get meats from a deli that are called loaf.
Damn, I really want a piece of olive loaf right now. Just now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, that sounds really, really good.
Yeah, it's just me. Good Lord wants me to eat my meats like ham, turkey, roast beef, nothing called loaf. That's a bread.
Yeah, that's understandable. I like a good olive loaf.
I love olives. Mm-hmm. Not
and yet I've never thought to put olives on a meat sandwich, but it goes together well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still a no-go, huh?
The loaves are bad, man. I worked in the deli, and I worked in the meat room, and so I worked in the deli for a while.
Yeah, you literally saw how the sausage gets made.
I tried all of the things. I've tried them. I have tried them. Now, for me to say this statement without saying I have eaten them before.
Sure.
So I say these from a place that I have eaten them. It's just not me going, oh, that sounds a bit, give it a try. No. I've shoved mac and cheese loaf and olive loaf and P&P loaf and various other loafs in my mouth. And I've tried it on various breads, from rye to pumpernickel to to white to wheat
Mhm.
to whatever. I've done it all.
It's just not your.
I have hours, and I'm good at a slicer. I haven't done it in 30 years,
Mhm.
but I was down with the slicing.
This? Oh, I could do this all day.
But it's all about the thickness.
Right.
You got to know how to make it razor thin
Mhm.
or thick without being like stupid thick.
Which, by the way, that's a hack. If you ever want some free meat, go to a deli counter. Tell them that you want like a pound or whatever.
Yeah.
And then tell them you want it sliced to a certain thickness, and then have them continually show you the thickness of the ham or whatever, and tell them it's not thin enough.
Right.
Because they're going to keep giving you free pieces.
Uh-huh.
You can walk away with a free
thinner.
pound if
Yeah.
you start out, a little thinner, a little thinner,
Yep.
a little bit. You're close. Keep it going. Yeah, you can walk away with a whole pound of free
I've
ham.
literally been on both sides of that equation.
You're just like, all right, Grandma, is this thin enough? You're holding it up and talking to her through it.
Yeah, or I'm just like, they have things like, I don't have any more of those little cups anymore to put the salad in
Right.
there or whatever it is.
It's literally going on the run with the tiny spoon at the Baskin Robbins.
It's like,
let me try your cookies and cream. I've never had that before.
yeah. Yes. The pea salad is exactly the same as the last time you had the free sandwich.
Hadn't changed. Still cheese and peas. It's a weird combo. Pea salad.
Yeah.
I don't like cheese and peas.
I love pea salad.
Really?
I'm a pea salad fan.
But olive loaf, you're kicking out of the bed.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, again, I've seen them make the pea salad.
Oh, speaking of weird combinations, I saw something yesterday that I'm going to have to get. We have to try.
Okay.
It was called a oink and tater. I think is what it was called.
Oink and tater?
Oink and tater. It's a chocolate bar.
Okay.
With bacon bits and potato chip pieces.
Oh, yeah, I'd eat that.
It sounds delightful, right?
I've had chocolate-covered bacon.
Uh-huh.
I've had the Reese's cups with the chips
Yes.
in it.
Here
I
you-
like both of those things.
I was a
I'm
fan.
thinking this is all a winner.
Yeah. Do you remember the chocolate covered chips they had a while back? Did you ever try those? The potato chips?
Yeah, there was one brand.
It was Wavy Lays. They did them.
Okay. Did I want to say I had one that was the people that make the pretzels crisps. I want to say they had a purple bag that had chocolate ones, chocolate chips or something in it one time, and I tried it.
Maybe. The other one, and I couldn't remember if we've tried this on the air or not, but
Yeah.
because I tried it on my remote, but did I bring in the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew?
You talked about it when
Okay.
I've never had it.
Because I got a bottle last night. I didn't bring it in today because I was like, wait, did we do that already? I started worrying, like, are we retreading material?
Yeah, you've had it in your life.
Because I want you to try to see if it gives you that same back of throat burn that it gave me.
Okay. So it's Mountain Dew and Cheeto dust?
No, it's because I thought it was gonna be like cinnamon, but it's a citrus soda. It kind of tastes like orange, and then it's just got like a flaming hot aspect. It kind of gives your throat a burn.
Oh, that sounds
it's
good.
interesting. I'll save it for when I bring it in for you to try it.
All right.
Save my opinions. It's not something I'm gonna buy a 12-pack of, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't
Yeah.
as bad as I expected it to be.
Okay. I just feel like we're getting into the gross sodas.
Well, I
but
just
they're
told
trying to-
Keanu, I was like, what's the point of trying something on the radio if you're not going to be, if we're not going to be grossed out and they're not going to be entertained?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
we're
I'll
gonna put
try
ourselves
it.
on the line, doggone it.
I'm trying to think from their perspective. Why would they do this? Like
for DJs around the country to talk about
well,
it.
that's just it. People are going to buy one bottle or one 6-pack, and then that's it. No one's buying any more of it.
Which is why I think I think it was originally like a meme soda, and
Yeah.
then they were like, okay, well, we have to make it at least somewhat decent.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's like gamer targeted or whatever, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some 7-year-old that's going to be like, no, this is my favorite beverage. And
Think about it like this: the R&D at Oreo, somebody at that company okayed watermelon Oreos.
Yeah,
They were still okay, but they pushed them out. Most people are like, what are you guys doing?
but they were delicious.
Yeah, they were all right, but
Yeah.
you got to push
See,
out the weird ideas to see what works.
But see, now Oreo has set a relationship with me that I trust them.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like Oreo, you're like, okay, you guys have been consistently putting out different products and consistently impressing me with those products. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain Dew,
Yeah, I will say that Frito-Lay has not earned my trust in the same way because there's a couple of products just in the last week that I've tried of theirs that I was disappointed with.
yeah,
Have you had the Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch?
no, I'm not a flaming hot. I
The
don't order a
Cool
lot of
Ranch
those.
flavor is so subtle anyways
Yeah.
that the Flamin' Hot just completely covers it up. It just tastes like you're eating a Flamin' Hot tortilla chip.
Gotcha. There's no Cool Ranch
None.
aspect of it.
None.
Yeah,
Didn't do it for me.
the hot outweighed the cool.
Then again, I sit there and eat Takis by the bag full. So, you got to bring hot to the table if you're going to bring hot to the table.
Why don't you just put actual icy hot in the Doritos?
This is terrible.
Cut out the middle, man. Put just Icy hot flavored Doritos.
Did you eat a handful of chips, Jim? He's over in the corner just, that would work.
But my stomach's not in pain anymore.
Like all of the roulette chips, the ones that are like 1 in 7 is extreme, they're not that hot. I eat the whole bag.
That's right. Yeah, well, commercial hot's not. New Mexicans, we know better. Commercial hot's.
Real ones.
That's right. We keep it real. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty hot today with high pressure over the central Rockies, and that'll be bringing warm and dry air into our area. We do have a slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm, but just around the Roswell area. Breezy and highs in the upper 90s to around 100. Few clouds overnight and low 60s, sunny and hot on Tuesday with highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 76 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds are variable at 5 miles per hour. We do have a red flag warning that's going to kick in at noon today, remaining in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. It's because we could see some wind and low humidity. They're saying there's a chance of storms. There's a after 3 o'clock today, there's a chance at some isolated thunderstorms. They say some of these storms could be severe with damaging winds. They don't talk much of precipitation, though. Mostly sunny and hot with a high of 97. East winds 10 to 15. And then they say little to no precipitation expected. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 60. Winds out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny, high of 102 tomorrow with northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 63. Southwest winds 10 to 15. And then Wednesday, sunny, high of 98. Thursday, sunny and highs right around 100. And then Friday, sunny and 96. And then down into the 80s. Mid-80s on Saturday, sunny and 84. And then sunny and 89 on Sunday. So a little cooler for the weekend. Enjoy that. I know I will. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break. I believe my guest is here, Peggy Bowen. We'll talk some camp invention on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Spin the wheel and save during the Wheels of Fortune savings event at Roswell Nissan with prices slashed across the lot so you can spin a new set of wheels this summer. Like a 2018 Ford Escape priced under $17,000, a 2016 Jeep Cherokee priced under $16,000, or a 2012 Infiniti G37 under $15,000. Get a trip to Vegas and spin the wheel to win just for stopping by. A Home Depot gift card with a test drive and a toolkit or grilling kit with any purchase. Spin in and save this month at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Bounce over to the Bash. The City of Roswell and the Spring River Zoo present the Summer Bounce House Bash, Saturday, June 4th at the Spring River Zoo. With 6 awesome bounce houses for the kids, plus face painting, food trucks, and all kinds of games and fun. Admission to the zoo is free, but a small fee applies to the other games and activities, so bring a little cash and get ready for the Bash. For more info, head for springriverzoo.com. The Summer Bounce House Bash, Saturday, June 4th at the Spring River Zoo. Hunting season's here again, and LGS Guns and Ammo is stocked up for your next hunt with everything you need. The draw results for New Mexico are in. Put that hunting, fishing, or trapping license of yours to good use and get to LGS Guns and Ammo for the hunting gear you need. Rifles, ammo, scopes, optics, binoculars, and so much more. From brands you know, like Ruger, Sulky, Vortex, and Burris Optics. Right now, take 10% off all firearms, 15% off accessories, and 15% off all Liberty safes. Do hunting season right with LGS Guns and Ammo across from Target in Roswell and at 109 North El Paso in Hobbs.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, talking some more camp invention with us, Peggy Bolin Black this morning. Good morning, Peggy.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
We were just talking the lunar eclipse last night, and seeing if you were out with a group downtown here with
right.
some telescopes and everything out, seeing it firsthand there. So
right, with the Roswell Astronomy Club.
Yeah,
good group of people.
Good deal. Wow, this is why they are in the astronomy club, is for nights like last night.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's the whole point of being a part of it. So you get to see these cool. Now, a lot of us probably just walked out the backyard and took a look at it there, but you guys got the up close and personal on the telescope there. So
we did.
Depending on how powerful it is, you can probably see a lot of cool stuff through there, you know?
Oh, yes.
Just based on my telescope from when I was a kid, I had that was... Matter of fact, I got that around the time of Halley's Comet. If you remember when Halley's Comet was coming through in the 80s.
Right.
And so my dad got me for Christmas that year a telescope, and sure enough, we were out in the front yard because that was during a window of a couple weeks, if I remember right, with Halley's Comet. You could see it in the sky, and so we got out there a couple of the nights and went through there and all that cool stuff. So
nice.
It was neat to cool. So kind of like that last night. So, well, that transitions to what we're about to talk about next. Because if you got kids that were like hounding you about seeing the lunar eclipse last night and loving all that kind of stuff, well, then you probably want to listen up, because we've got a week of fun in store for them with Camp Invention. This camp's been going on for many years now, and it's a day camp, week-long summer day camp here for elementary age kids, and they work on 4 different fun STEM and STEAM related projects, and each year they're different projects, and all of them teach them various elements about science. It could be space, could be earth science, could be like biology, things like that. Or it could be even some of the art stuff, you know, with creating and things like that, but engineering, math, science. I mean, it kind of covers all the gamuts, and it does it in a fun way where these kids get 4 unique projects that, by the way, they get to take home and show off to their friends and all that stuff too.
Yes.
So it really is a fun week for kids. That's full of really disguised education and learning. That's kind of what it is. Yeah. The kids are just, they're looking at it as these fun little group projects where they're, you know, making aquatic fish in little fish tanks and things like that. But they're really understanding the principles of mechanics there. They're learning biology about fish and how they work in their environments and things like that. And that's just one of the 4 projects they do that
True.
with. So that's in a nutshell. That's kind of what Camp Invention is about.
You summed it up very well. You're in charge. You're now the director. Congratulations.
Nice. Do I get a hat? No.
I have an extra. I can bring you.
You can make that happen.
I can.
But again, this is kids entering kindergarten through 6th grade. That's the age bracket that the camp is kind of geared towards. However, if you have a student that's a little older, middle school age, there's an opportunity for them too. It's called their LIT program, their Leader in Training program, and this is for kids entering 6th through 9th?
Yes.
Yes. And
no. Sorry. Entering 7th through 9th.
7th through 9th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the campers.
6th, they're still campers.
Yes.
7th through 9th grade.
Right.
And they get to learn the program and participate, but also they kind of are like assistants to the counselors. And so they might help organize the event, keeping the kids in line or helping them, when kids are having problems with their projects, they're helping them kind of to help with the working of the projects, things like that.
And helping the teachers too, who
being
are there.
assistant to the teachers and the counselors here. But at the same time, you get to play and have fun, but you kind of get to be a leader at the same time.
Right, they're learning leadership skills.
Which, by the way, kids usually that age kind of, when they feel pretty cool when they get to be like part of the leadership side.
Right.
Oh, I'm in the inside club, so your kid will probably feel kind of special doing it too. So, but anyway, now the week of this camp is going to be June 6th through June 10th. And it's coming up pretty quick. We're less than a month away, folks. And it's going to be once again at First United Methodist Church there on Pennsylvania, 200 North Pennsylvania. And it'll run daily 9 to 3:30 during that week. If that does not work for you, if you're thinking, well, I got to be work earlier, I can't get them, then but wait, there's more. We've got more opportunities. There's an opportunity for an extended camp. And for folks that maybe the 9 to 3:30, they can't pick them up or they can't drop them off in time. But there is an extended camp that runs from 7:30 to 5:30, and it's really more camp. It's not like they put them in a room and say, all right, sit here quietly till 9:30 or sit here till your mom comes get you.
Exactly.
No, they're in there doing more camp stuff and doing all that. There is an additional fee for that, which we'll go over all that here in a minute. But if you want a fun week of camp with your kid and them doing STEM and doing all this stuff, and I've said this 1,000 times, but in the world we live in now with COVID, every single child is behind the curve on this. I don't care how much extra work you've done, they need more. We're just not there. And things like Camp Invention are the key to fill some of these gaps that have been left in their educational void because of COVID. And And in this way, it's not hard. Like, it's not, your kid isn't going to look at it like this is homework. They're going to look at it like, oh, man, we did at camp today. They ran around, we had fun and played. We built this sweet, fish tank, or we built this sweet different arcade, marble arcade, whatever it is. Whatever project is they're working on that day, they do. And then they'll come home and tell you all about it. And then they probably want to take them to show and tell that first week of school, assuming they don't, kids are kids. They break things and lose things.
Well, during the summer. This is at the beginning of the summer. They have a great opportunity all summer long to play with this instead of being on the computer or their phone.
Absolutely, yeah. Or, maybe this sparks an interest. And now that they got this, they get excited, and then they maybe take advantage of some of the things, other free things going on, like at the library or things like that, some of the STEM projects and things happening there. Maybe you're lighting that fire for them to get interested in maybe space or rockets or
engineering
or fish or animals. Maybe Maybe they want to be a vet or a zookeeper or something, and so they'll get really into the biology side of things, or maybe they love to fidget and make things. So, they're going to love some of the engineering projects we got on their hands. That's what Camp Invention's about. So, let's talk money a little bit here. Cost for the camp
is $255.
Yes. However, you can save $15 if you register before the 18th, which is a couple days away, 2 days away.
Because the offer expires on that day.
Yes. If you go to invent.org/camp, that'll take you to the Camp Invention website. You're going to see a little drop box, find a camp near you, so a little box there. Just type in there, Roswell, New Mexico, hit enter, and all the information for this year's Camp Invention will magically appear before your eyes.
That's right.
There, you can sign up for the camp. If you sign up before the 18th, there's a little spot where you can enter our offer code. If you enter the offer code EXPLORE15, no space, all one word, they're going to knock $15 off of your total cost. But you got to do that before the 18th.
Right.
Now, if that is something that you would like, but you need more of a discount, you're thinking, man, I can't afford $250. I got 3 kids I want to go to camp.
Right, exactly. Or even one.
One kid, $250 is a lot of money. I get it. I hear you.
Nowadays, the times are tough.
Absolutely. Good news is, thanks to some generous donors in our community, Peggy has access to partial scholarships. If you need help, if you say you need $15 or $25 and cut it, I need a bigger discount here. Talk to Peggy. You're going to book sign up your children through her direct. You won't go to the
Right.
website here.
Exactly.
But you make that, and we'll tell you how to do that here in a bit. But reach out to Peggy. Peggy will talk with you, hear what you need here, and then act accordingly. But while there's money to be given out, she's going to give it all out. So the only way you can stop her is by not giving money. So don't stop her. Keep giving us money. That's the other thing. If the money doesn't get used, and you can donate directly through Camp Invention too. You don't have to cut a check to Peggy. There's a way through the Camp Invention too, depending on how you feel comcomfortable doing all that stuff.
Right, but they wouldn't write the check to me.
Yeah, exactly. It's all done directly through Camp Invention.
Yes.
They hold the pot. They hold the
They
money.
do. I have nothing.
But whatever monies doesn't get used this year rolls over to next year. So
Right.
that money is used for one thing and one thing only, to help kids go to camp.
Right, the scholarship money.
So if there's anybody listening that's strong STEM, loves this, and thinks this is a great thing to back behind, if you can support by reaching out to Peggy, calling the same number, and saying, hey, I heard I'd like to contribute a whatever, $100, $1,000, $2, whatever it is.
Right, exactly.
Whatever you'd like to contribute to help kids go to camp here. But if you need that help, call Peggy direct. And here's the phone number. You can reach out to her at 575-420-9955. Again, that's 575-420-9955. And just call her. Leave a voicemail if you don't get her live there. She is a busy lady that's going about 10 different things right now.
Yeah.
Getting ready for camp in a couple weeks. So it's a little busy. And by the way, she has another life too, of family and other things going
That's
on.
right.
So she's going to be busy that. You can also shoot her an email, pbolin2016@gmail.com. That's PBOHLIN 2016 at gmail.com. Shoot an email there as well. And of course, if you just have general questions about the camp too, you can always go and call her or email.
That's right.
However, if you go to the website I mentioned earlier, invent.org/camp, or just go directly to invent.org, there you can learn all about Camp Invention. It's a national, this isn't just here in Roswell, it's all over the country, and they have different camps all over the country, and it's put together by the Inventors Hall of Fame. They're the ones that created this, and it's a STEM-based camp. It's weekly, and so the camp that's here in Roswell is going to be just like the one that's in New York, and the one that's going to be in Chicago, and things like that. Different people run it, but same curriculum, same plan, same everything. So if you have family in other parts of the country too that you think, man, Johnny's going to be doing Camp Invention here in Roswell, you guys in Virginia ought to look
Check
into it.
So, yes,
but
it's
go
all
to
over.
invent.org, read all about Camp Invention, how it got started, what it's about. Learn specifically about the different modules, which Peggy will tell us a bit more about here in a minute. But learn exactly what they're going to be doing that week at camp. And of course, you can sign up there. And if you need more help financially, call Peggy direct and get that done. But we don't want to make not enough money the reason why a child doesn't go to Camp Invention.
Right, and I still have a nice chunk of money to share.
But we got to get people to
But we have
reach
to get
out and
people
ask
to
for
reach
it.
out. Exactly. And I really hope that 10 people call me this morning.
Yeah.
I've got...
We really want to give away this money.
We really do. And, I mean, I've helped families with 3 kids before.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
how can I help you?
If you're dropping $1,000 for a week of camp, that's a lot of
It's
money.
a lot of money, and
You know?
I am definitely here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that's why I come on the radio, to get the word out, to make sure everybody understands.
There are some
I
great
am
people.
here to help. I don't bust my hiney to get scholarship money so that I don't help people. I mean, obviously
This isn't
that's my
just
goal.
fun for you.
No. Although
she enjoys it.
It is a challenge.
But
it is fun.
that's not why she's doing it. She's doing
No.
it because she wants to help kids in our community and have
Well, all
fun
the
with
kids.
us.
I
And
mean,
to be
if
honest,
a parent
you
really wants a kid to go, I'm here.
and as a parent yourself, your kids went through these programs and got so much benefit. Matter of fact, some of your kids' careers now are directly related to some Camp Invention STEM-like things that they've learned and
Yes.
stuff. So she sees the proof in the pudding directly with her own family, and that's why she's
Definitely.
been heavily involved with it for many moons after her kids have long and grown. And
Yeah. Well, sure, my oldest now is married, but he's an engineer, but he's married. He has a house. He lives in Nashville, but
Camp Invention was in the roots.
It was because being an engineer, he was able to do all that.
Yeah. So please come. And
You know?
and here's the thing I'm trying to impress upon you is Your kid's going to think it's just a fun week of camp of doing a bunch of stuff, interacting, hanging out with kids, meeting friends, making friends, all of that. And oh, by the way, they just learned a ton of science in a week. They learned, and they're going to take that information and learn science and math and all of this stuff in practical ways. And that's
Definitely.
And that's the difference. And I think that would be my problem. I think I personally would be better at math and science if I was taught about it in a way that made to a point where I could see it in action. I'm not one of those ones that can go do chemistry formulas and stuff. I'm like, I have no concept. I don't care. Unless you can tell me what I'm going to do with this thing, I don't care that O2, this and that. I just don't, it doesn't register with me.
Right.
But if you're like, see, this is how we make this. And oh, by the way, it's chemistry. We're going to, by the way, how we make your milkshake? It's chemistry. Let me show you how. And that's what Camp Invention does, is it takes these concepts that if you explain them on the surface are going to be like glassed over eyes, deer in headlight, what? When's snack time?
Yes.
But
and we have that.
Yeah. But this presents that in a way where they don't realize that they just learned the concepts of gravity now, or the concepts of the biology of a fish, and that's what this Camp Invention's about. And so hopefully at the end of the week, your kids, next thing you know, your kid may all of a sudden have an interest in something science related. You don't know. They just, till you expose them, especially elementary age kids. I'm not a parent, so I'm not the most qualified, but just from my opinion, if you're not throwing as much stuff at the wall for these kids to see what sticks, to find their interest. I think our role as parents, yes, we want to teach them and educate them, but at the same time, we've got to expose them into as much stuff so they can find their niche, to find their
That's
path,
right. That's right.
And find the thing that makes them wake up in the morning and get it excited.
Right.
That's what we have to help them do. And I think Camp Invention is one of the best tools out there to do that.
Right. I told you the one son's an engineer. The other one went into zoology and geology.
Yeah.
So there you go. Like robotic aquatics.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had to take I think it's called ichthyology. That's a study of fish.
Oh, wow.
In college. Now, robotic aquatics could have maybe helped.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Well, there is that story of the movie that's based off a true story about the dolphin that was born.
Dolphin's tail.
Yeah. Easy enough to remember, but that's exactly marines and biology and science working together, where they created an artificial tail for a dolphin so it can continue to swim in the ocean. And that's a rarity, but that's science. That's the pairing of this worlds we talk about. And how many people would love to have those opportunities to be in that next envelope we push in the science world? That's
exactly.
Think
It'd be
about
amazing.
It. Every single thing we take for granted nowadays, somebody pushed an envelope to make it happen. The radio we're talking on here, somebody pushed the envelope to discover we could do this. Even what I mean. Everything we take and do for granted, all of it. So whatever's coming next for us, whether it's non-verbal communication or whatever it is, whatever's next in our history of evolution of science and everything. The kids that are at Camp Invention, they're going to be a part of that, and they all learn it because they learned about robotic fish or fish in a fish tank, or they learned about a marble arcade or something like that, and so they're able to pair the creative and the science together. Because once you do that, the sky's the limit. If you know the science and on what the laws of science are and what you can and cannot do, what's next for you? Just even look at like physical activity and things like parkour. That parkour where people. When I was a kid, to see people run up a wall, you would have said, "What is that, Spider-Man?" You would have never. But science has shown us that we as humans can do more than we think we can. And that's science has shown us that, and I attribute that to the same, parkour and all that. It's because somebody's looking. It's like, I watch cartoons all day. I saw people run. How can I now? They're like, science has let me look. It's all about physics, balance. If we can do it, we just got to believe, and that's where science gives creativity the ability to believe it can be done.
Right.
And that's and I don't get way deep here, but that in a nutshell, that's camp invention. You're stirring that pot. You're starting that. You're planting those seeds in your children to someday maybe the next person that created. Maybe they're the next
the cure
Elon
for cancer.
Maybe they're the next Elon Musk. Maybe
That's
they're
right.
the next Nikolai Tesla. Whatever it is, maybe they're that next person.
Right.
So sign up for camp.
I know, really. You're like the best spokesperson around.
I believe in my heart. These are the little things that make a community better. You know what I mean? By having these opportunities for our families, for our kids, it's so easy to just sit in your little bubbles and live your little lives and do things, and then you wonder why things aren't right in the world, and you're saying this, and if you're not actively trying to make it better, then you're part of the problem, I think. And I think things like Camp Invention actively try to make it better. Giving kids an opportunity to learn, to have fun. That's the thing is because I'm one of those kids that science and stuff is pretty cool, but because let's face it, I don't think I was taught in a fun way. I think it was all about here's a textbook, learn it, know it, and I didn't. And to this day, I'm very sadly lacking in science and math. I'm great at English and history and all that, but science and math, that's my weak links because I don't think I was taught in a way that sparked my interest.
Right. It was boring.
Yeah.
I mean, we opened a book in science. So great. Let's.
Exactly. But if someone said, this is what they're doing with it.
Right. Hands-on. What Camp Invention does.
And I'm like, oh, who knows? Maybe I would have been an astronaut or
exactly.
Or the guy that designs the next, vehicle that takes us to Mars and back, whatever it is, So please think about it. Sign up for Camp Invention. Let your kids come and really experience this opportunity where and I know we've been talking a lot about science, but all the other ancillary stuff like interpersonal communication, talking to people face to face,
teamwork,
working on a problem and solving it together.
Yeah,
these are skill sets
invention.
that they will learn this week.
Yes.
That are very, very hard to teach in any other environment other than in a group setting. You can't teach a kid how to work well with others unless you put them in a room with others. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And so Camp Invention fosters all of that too. So even if the kid maybe at the end of the week the kid's like, well, you know what, science isn't for me. But guess what? Now that kid has a whole week of leadership skills by working in groups, understanding communications, being able to, and who knows, maybe made a friend or two. That's
right.
There's, I know we're focusing so much on the STEM part of things, but all the other parts of that a kid needs to have and to be exposed to grow up to be mature, good, well-rounded individuals, they learn at Camp Invention as well too. That there's society is much better off when we all have the skills to learn how to work, deal, and talk with each other, and Camp Invention fosters that. So,
right. So let me mention a few things.
Yes, let's talk the fun part and talk about some of the camp and all that.
So the 4 modules are robotic aquatics, and you've mentioned that a few times.
Yeah.
So you get a little robotic fish and actually a little jellyfish as well. In the little fish tank.
So it's not one but 2 fish.
That's right. Yeah. Redfish, bluefish. Another one is called Spacecation.
Yes.
They make astro-armed devices, mine asteroids, and look at ice volcanoes.
Cool. So think of like the big arm on the space shuttle kind of thing.
Yes, exactly.
That's the principle behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Canadarm. And then we have the National Inventors Hall of Fame, NIHF's The Attic.
Yeah, that doesn't flow. NIHF
it does not.
Doesn't flow as well as some others.
And that one, they're working with chemistry and doing spin art. So there's the art component.
Yeah, there's the STEAM part in the STEM. Yeah.
Part, that's right. And then the last one is with physics. It's Marble Arcade. You mentioned that one.
Yeah.
And they make an arcade, and they learn about gravity and physics and the whole thing with the marble going down,
Not to mention the physical side, hand-eye coordination.
Yes.
How many people have sat and tried to do marble arcades and spend hours because I'm so close, right? You know what I mean? You get and all of that develops hand-eye coordination, things like that, and in a different way other than playing video games. It's a physical thing. Plus, at the same time, they're learning. They're learning physics while they're learning hand-eye coordination. They're understanding angles and things like that. Oh, too much of an angle. it's going in the hole. Not enough an angle. It's not moving.
That's right.
That's where they learn all that. And then they learned, I would even say, like for parents wanting to teach golf to their kids, start them with a marble arcade. You want to turn them, kind of give them the concept of how greens work and the hills and everything, how they break. A marble arcade's kind of a rudimentary lesson in that a little bit, So that, again, cool stuff.
Well, we also have Camp Invention games.
Okay.
And that's when they go outside and they don't actually just stand around or run around with no purpose.
Gotcha.
Camp Invention games, there's actual games that we have.
Organized
that's in the
sets
curriculum.
of games.
Organized sets of games that the assistant director runs. And then, that the kids love that. They go outside.
Sure, burn off a little energy.
Burn off, it's going to be June, the beginning of June. So it's going to be, it's 101 now.
Right.
So, we make sure the kids.
Maybe it'll get a little cooler.
We remind the parents, put sunscreen on your child before they come to camp, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they are outside.
Absolutely.
Weather
and probably
permitting.
if they can, bring a little bottle so they can reapply later as needed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
So the cost of the camp, let's review that.
Yes.
It's $255 with a $15 discount until it expires. The discount
On the
code
18th.
expires the 18th of May. Explore 15 if they register online at invent.org/camp or 800-968-4332.
Yes.
They can call that number. Also, we do need some parent volunteers. So I was thinking that those living in Artesia, Ruidoso, that aren't super close, even Roswell, that's fine.
Sure.
We need them. But those who live outside of town, if they drive in, they want, with the price of gas, they wouldn't want to drive home and drive in and drive home
Right.
every day. They could drive in, stay, volunteer at the camp, and then drive the child home. That would save a lot on gas.
Absolutely.
And so it's a win-win situation.
Sure.
The child gets to go to camp. I get a volunteer.
Yeah.
I can help with discounts.
And then all
the
you get
whole
to meet
thing.
new people and have some fun, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something to think about if you're
Do
out
camp
of town.
together.
Right. Hagerman, Dexter.
Yeah.
All of those towns, like Arthur.
Mom and kid or dad and kid or
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
Right. If that's possible, or grandma and kid.
Yeah, or grandma and kid. Yeah.
That's the possibility.
Absolutely.
But also, I do have scholarship money. I still have a good chunk, and I'm willing to help a bunch of people.
Sure.
They just have to call me.
Yeah, you got to reach out.
Please call me at 575-420-9955.
And don't be
I have
embarrassed.
the
Don't
money.
be anything.
No,
the money is here
no.
for that reason, and we get it. $250 is a steep bill for a lot of families, and all of us would balk at that a little bit. So,
Oh, yeah.
So if you need help
That's
there,
why I'm here.
we got some great people that want to donate money and do this, and let's face it, the more you are the more that you're accepting and taking of it, the more people we can get to donate money.
Yes.
And that's what because these people, the people that are donating, want to make sure it gets used. So,
Right, exactly.
So
They're like, hey,
please.
I'm donating this money because we know how important it is.
Yeah.
And I've done this 15 years, so they know that it's a legit camp.
Absolutely.
That I work hard, and the camp, and all my teachers and all the staff work hard, and the kids love it.
The
and they
reputation
leave.
is established itself as a quality week-long camp for kids to participate.
Right. I had one of the donors come last year to check out the camp. And because he checked out the camp, he donated more this year because
That's
he saw
awesome.
the value.
Yeah.
He's like, the camp is awesome. I hope all the kids sign up for Camp Invention because it's so good.
Absolutely. That would be the problem we want. We want it to where we have so many kids that you have to turn them away because there's so many. And we've come close in years past.
Oh, we have. We
But,
actually have reached our number.
Yeah.
Right
but
now, we haven't gotten
Right
there
now,
yet.
numbers are down a little bit. So if you want to get in on this camp, you're guaranteed to get a spot, but you gotta get on. Like I said, if you want to do just save the $15 real quick, go to invent.org. You do it today before the 18th. Sign up here. But if you would like to take advantage of a partial scholarship, just call or email Peggy direct here, and don't go to Camp Invent or invent.org to sign up because
for a scholarship.
yeah, for a
right?
scholarship. If you just want to sign up for the camp, don't need a scholarship, or want to use the $15 one, you can go through the website. But if you do need more help than that $15, just call Peggy direct or shoot her an email. Probably call her because basically she's going to tell you explain your story. This is what's going on. I got 3 kids, or I just started a new job. They got whatever it is, whatever you're she'll hear it and, all right, well, I can offer you this, or how much do you need to make this work for you? Obviously, because Peggy and a lot of people believe it, you got to have a vested interest in something, so there's not going to be a full scholarship.
Right.
You can't pay for the whole $255, but we could pay a good hunk if that will help you do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we want you to contribute some, so you will make sure that your child's there every day, taking advantage of it. It's something that was vested interest, something so you have a little skin in the game too.
Right, and somebody who volunteers at the camp gets a significant discount as well.
Absolutely.
So and
maybe
so,
that's it. You got a free week on your hands, and
right,
and can help out there. And you don't have to be a science expert, but
no, not at all.
If you're good at wrangling kids, that's half the battle right there.
Right, or helping on the teachers or whatever.
And if you're a parent, you probably got those skills in there.
That's right.
You've been wrangling a kid
true.
or two for a while now, or a group of them.
Yes, and I wanted to mention the LITs, the middle school, as you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So the campers are entering kindergarten to entering 6th. Okay. Middle school is entering 7th, entering 9th. If the parents want to sign them up now, the only way they can sign them up, because it's 30 days before, is calling the 800 number.
Okay, and that's 800-968-4332.
Right, and they're $155 instead of $255. Okay. So they get $100 off.
Nice.
It's just the LITs have to register over the phone.
Gotcha.
Everybody else can call me, or just go to invent.org/camp or Google Camp Invention. You'll find it.
Yeah.
And then I also still need one leadership intern.
Okay.
So if there's a high school, and I'll take more than one, that's fine. But
you need at least one.
So if there's a high school or college student out there who wants to volunteer, I'm love to have them.
All right. So reach out, call Peggy direct again, 575-420-9955, or shoot her an email, pbolin2016@gmail.com. That's PBOHLIN 2016@gmail.com. And then, like you said, if you're interested in being an LIT, you got to call the 1-800 number direct. That's the only way you can sign up. Not through the website, not through Peggy, but by calling 1-800-868-4332. And if you missed any of that,
they get a cool package too.
Yeah.
I mean, Camp Invention sends them a package when they're an LIT, so they get extra stuff.
So it's like their own special.
That's right. They
click.
get swag. They Camp Invention swag if they're an LIT.
Nice.
And it's $100 cheaper.
Yeah. And you get all the advantage of learning all the stuff and having the fun of participating and building the projects and doing all that too.
Exactly.
So, very cool.
So yeah, camp. I'm looking forward to camp. I think it's going to be a great year.
It is, and it's coming up quick. June 6th through the 10th. Again, 9 to 3:30 for the normal camp hours. Extended camp if you'd like to do so. Again, by the way, that's an additional $80 if you'd like the extended camp. And that runs from 7:30 to 5:30. So you'll get there earlier, and then they can stay later.
Except on Friday.
Except on Friday,
they leave because we're breaking down the
3
camp.
o'clock, 3:30 rather. That's
3:30.
That's it. Camp's over 3:30 Friday. Regardless. So.
Yes. Yeah, we really need to break down the camp, and we'll have First United Methodist Church back to how they had it before we.
It's a great
got
facility there. And,
it is. It's really nice, and it's central in town. That's what I like about it. I mean, I try to stay central.
Sure.
Because everybody then.
And they're a great church that really offers up their building to a lot of folks in our community. And a lot of, my American Legion meets over there. They just, a lot of different, the pantry, they just constantly helping the community here. So we appreciate them allowing you to call it home this year again.
Right.
So that's awesome.
Right. Well, we've never been at First United Methodist.
That's right. I was thinking last year for some reason you guys were there.
No, it was a different one.
That was a different one. Okay. I don't know. In my head, I was thinking last year, but oh well. I slept since then. Again, invent.org/camp. The 800 number, if you want to be an LIT or sign up, you can do. Right. But LIT's got to go through this. Right. 800-968-4432.
No. 4332.
Oh, sorry, 43. My blind eyes wrote it wrong. 4332.
You need a new prescription.
I need thicker glasses. And again, this is for kids entering kindergarten through 6th grade.
Yes.
LITs are your 7th through 9th graders.
Yeah, entering.
And it's a different cost. It's about $100 cheaper there.
Yes, $100 cheaper.
And then, of course, invent.org/camp is the website. And if you have any questions or need a partial scholarship or want just to learn more about anything camping or be a volunteer or anything, reach out to Peggy direct, 575-420-9955. Again, that's 575-420-9955, or email pbolin2016 BOHLIN, pbolin2016@gmail.com.
Right. And please, whoever's listening, please spread the word.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
if you don't have kids, tell your neighbors that have kids, and tell them about Camp Invention, and tell them to go check out the website.
Yes.
And if you got an elementary age kid, they're going to get a lot out of this.
A neighbor, a grandchild, nephew, niece.
Yep.
Tell the world.
Tell the world. Get these kids in there, and let's make it so when they go back to school in the fall that they're armed a little bit better, because
That's
they're going
right.
to have some better stuff.
That's right.
More fun and more learning here.
Right. I'm excited. I think I have a couple of texts already.
Good
so
deal.
I'm hoping more people will text or call me today.
Good deal.
Because you're saying phone call, but people have texted me as well.
Yeah, you can shoot a text. I always say that.
Especially
I
if
forget.
they're at work. They go,
Some younger folks more go to the text first than the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not of that age. I go to phone first. So, well, Peggy, as always, appreciate it. We'll see you here in a couple weeks to remind folks again as we get a little closer. But don't wait for her to come in next time. Go ahead and sign up today.
Yes.
Get signed up. Especially if you need these partial scholarships, let's get all that in place and locked down. So come June 6th, all you're doing is getting ready for camp. So
Right, and Explore 15 if you need just $15 off.
Yep.
Expires May 18th.
Yeah, it's your last chance. 2 days, May 18th. By close of business that day, it's done. So good deal. Well, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.
All right, it is 9:58. Let's do a quick commercial break before we wrap up the show. Don't go away.
If your family's like mine, they're ready for some fun. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. A trip to Glenn's is like a trip to Disneyland. A new buttery soft power reclining sofa and love seat turns your living room into familyland. Cozy new bedroom furniture turns the bedrooms into dreamland. A handsome new dining table transforms your old food court into a 4-star restaurant. And it's all in stock, on sale, and ready for free delivery. So treat your family with a trip to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda.
Being called a fox in your marriage might not always be a good thing. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and my wife, Miss Julie, for the Joy of Marriage.
In Song of Solomon, it says, "Catch all the foxes, those little foxes, before they ruin the vineyard of love." I looked up the word fox, and it means cunning, achieving one's goal by deceit or evasion. A female fox is a vixen, which is spiteful or a combative woman.
Those little things we do to try to get our way can ruin our marriages. Try just being honest and talking through the situation. Do what's best for your marriage, not just for yourself. When Julie and I learned to choose to do what's right instead of trying to be right, our marriage turned around. You will find marriage is so much better when we work together.